All right, I'm going live on.
Going live.
Going live. We're doing
Do it live.
Fucking thing sucks. All right. It's going slowly, but it's going. Let me make sure I got the donation link because I'm going to post that, and then we're going to do that. Okay.
Hey, Reggie.
Got it. All right. Donation link is there. I just want to make sure that we're actually straight.
This is our ASMR section.
Right.
Right.
Always whispering. Always whispering.
Hey, y'all told me to not do that after Devil Wears Prada when I did the whisper where you're like, don't ever do that again. I'm like, okay. All right, all right, so we're live. Let me just switch to speed. Let me get my cast poster because otherwise
Reg, I must be able to pay attention to you all night. Why don't you go sit by Daddy?
Reggie's like, I'll do what I want, Mom.
I know. She's like, pay attention to me now.
Right. Yes. Okay. Okay. All right. You're all gonna stop. I'm trying to
Come here,
start
baby.
this thing. Okay.
Come here. Get up on the couch.
There you go.
Okay.
Hi, puppy. Hi, puppy dog.
Yeah.
Hi,
Okay.
puppy.
Yeah.
Well, Reg is derailing my intro. It's fine.
Oh, sorry.
You're fine. No, you're fine. You're fine. All right. Let me try this again.
It's fine.
Lay down.
We'll do it live. All right.
You're
Hello,
embarrassing your
everybody
parents.
out there in YouTube land, and welcome to our next live script reading of the Not Ready for Quarantine players as we do the 1999 classic sci-fi adventure, The Matrix, as a benefit for the Transgender Law Center. We will learn more about them when we come back for Act 2, but I know y'all want to get down to business and enter the Matrix, so let's just start going through roles and introducing people. I have my phone in front of me. But we are in reverse. And these are the main roles. Elizabeth Carr as Dozers. Say hey.
Hey, what's up? I'm here. I'm good.
You're good. I saw that. I was like, do I need to unmute her? Crap. Playing the role of one of the muscles for the crew of the Nebuchadnezzar, we have Switch, played by my beautiful fiance, Brianna Cardoza, who's listed under her other first role, which I'm not listing anyone who's playing a cop as a cop for a number of reasons. Next up in the role of Operator Tank, we have Daniel Cook back to join us.
Hello. Yeah.
And Daniel right now gets the MVP because their audio was not having it earlier. So I got to give special props to that. In the roles of us other muscle of the Nebuchadnezzar, APOC, and our Oracle, we have Mona Chase.
Hey. I'm trying to get my fucking phone to stay upright with the charger cable in it.
Give it some
I think I got it. I think I got it. Just don't look at it.
Okay.
Oh, Lord.
Okay.
In the role of gender bending Morpheus, we have with us, as always, the fantastic Samantha Madison.
Eat the cake, anime. Oh, sorry, wrong movie.
That's great.
Nice.
Sorry,
Nice.
wrong movie. Sorry.
Right after wrong movie.
Right. And I'm taking pills right now. Taking pills.
In the role of our love interest Trinity, we've got Sean Watson back.
Hello there.
Gender fuckery. Yeah.
What is
Gender is a
gender?
construct.
Yeah.
Fuck it
Gender
up.
is a construct, and before we get to that, before we start the show, I'm going to say something on that as well. In our lead role of Thomas A. Anderson, aka Neo, aka the One, we have Cadaver Daddy-O back.
Hey.
Oh.
I'm playing the Judas of the group, Cypher, tonight. And
Way to ruin it.
Right.
It's
Spoilers.
a 20-year-old movie.
Spoilers.
Read it yet.
Sarah,
yes.
queen of spoilers.
Y'all suck.
For Matrix and RuPaul's Drag Race.
whatever.
Shots fired.
Okay, first of all, the roast was for my birthday 2 years ago. Secondly, let's bring on our narrator, Miss Ginger Fahrenheit.
Yay! Hi.
So, before I have Ginger kick off, the link for Transgender Law Center's donation fundraiser that we have is in the YouTube chat. It's also on Facebook if you've seen any of us posting about it in the last few days. And I just want to say that I'm really glad that we were able to get a majority queer and trans non-binary cast for this film because it's very important. Both Wachowskis have since transitioned, if y'all don't know. And if you look at this film now, it's basically an allegory for transitioning. So I'm excited for this. Without further ado, Ginger, take it away.
All right. All right. Fade in. Computer screen. So close it has no boundaries. A blinding cursor pulses in the electric darkness like a heat coursing with phosphorus light burning beneath the derma of black neon glass. A phone begins to ring. We hear it as though we were making the call. The cursor continues to throb relentlessly, patient, until...
Yeah.
Data now slashes across the screen, information flashing faster than we can read. Call transopt received 2-19-98 13-24-18. Record log.
Is everything in place?
On screen, trace program running. We listen to the phone conversation as though we were on a third line. The man's name is Cypher, the woman Trinity.
Said, is everything in place?
The entire screen with racing columns of numbers shimmering like green electric rivers. They rush at a 10-digit phone number. Oh, they rush at a 10-digit phone number in the top corner.
You weren't supposed to relieve me.
I know, but I felt like taking a shift.
The area code is identified. The first 3 numbers suddenly fixed, leaving only 7 digits in the flowing columns. You want me to try that again?
You like him, don't you?
Oh.
You're good. You like him, don't you? You like watching him.
We begin moving toward the screen, closing in as each digit is matched one by one, snapping into place like the wheels of a slot machine.
Don't be ridiculous.
We're gonna kill him. Do you understand that? He's gonna die just like the others.
Morpheus believes he's the one. Only 2 thin digits left.
I think that was a narration that got.
Oh shit, my bad. Only two. That was my bad.
Wouldn't be one if we goofed the script. Wouldn't be a reading if we didn't goof the script.
All right. Okay, well, there's only 2 thin digits left.
Okay.
That's what she said.
Anyway.
I said, do you?
Oh.
It doesn't matter what I believe.
You don't, do you?
If you have something to say, I suggest you say it to Morpheus.
I intend to, believe me. Someone has to.
The final number pops into place.
Do you hear that?
Hear what?
On screen, trace complete. Call origin, number 312-555-0690.
Are you sure this line is clean?
Yeah, of course I'm sure.
We move still closer, the electric hum of the green numbers growing in an ominous roar.
I better go.
She hangs up as we pass through the numbers, entering the netherworld of the computer screen. Suddenly, a flashlight cuts open the darkness and we find ourselves in the heart of the city hotel. The hotel was abandoned after a fire licks its way across the polyester carpeting, destroying several rooms as it spooled soup up the walls and ceiling. We leave patterns of permanent shadow, I'm gonna take my glasses off. I'm old. We follow 4 armed police officers using flashlights as they creep down the blackened hall and ready themselves on either side of room 303. The biggest of them violently kicks open the door. The other cop pours in behind him, guns thrust before them.
Police, freeze.
The room is almost devoid of furniture. There's a fold-up table and a chair with a phone, a modem, and a PowerBook computer. The only light in the room is the glow of the computer. Sitting there, her hand still on the keyboard, is Trinity, a woman in black leather.
Hands behind your head. Now, do it.
She slowly puts her hands behind her head. A black sedan with tinted windows glides in through the police cruisers. Agents Smith, Brown, and Jones get out of the car. They wear dark suits and sunglasses even at night. Just like Corey Hart.
I was about to say.
They are also always hardwired, small Secret Service earphones in one ear, the cord coiling back into their shirt collars.
Lieutenant.
Oh, shit.
Lieutenant, you were given specific orders.
I'm just doing my job. You give me that Juris My Diction and you can cram it up your ass.
The orders were for your protection.
The lieutenant laughs.
I think we can handle one little girl.
Agent Smith nods to Agent Brown as they start toward the hotel.
I sent 2 units. They're bringing her down now.
No, Lieutenant. Your men are already dead.
Oh my God.
The big cop flips out his cuffs and the other cops holding a bead. They've done this 100 times. They know they've got her until the big cop reaches with the cuffs and Trinity moves. It almost doesn't register. So smooth and fast, inhumanely fast. The eye blinks and Trinity's palm snaps up and the nose explodes, blood erupting. Her legs kicks with the force of a wrecking ball and he flies back, a 250-pound sack of limp meat and bones that slams into the cop furthest from her. Trinity moves again, bullets raking the walls, flashlight sweeping with panic, and as the remaining cops try to stop a leather-clad ghost. A gun still in the cop's hand is snatched, twisted, and fired. There's a final violent exchange of gunfire, and when it's all over, Trinity is the only one standing. A flashlight rocks slowly to a stop.
Shit.
Agent Brown enters the hotel with Agent Smith and heads for the alley. Trinity is on the phone, pacing. The other end is answered. Oh, Morpheus.
Sam, that's you.
Operator.
Orpheus, the line was traced. I don't know how.
I know. They cut the hard line. This line is not a viable exit.
Are there any agents?
Yes.
God damn it.
You have to focus. There is a phone. Wells and Lake. You can make it.
She takes a deep breath, centering herself.
All right.
Go.
She drops the phone. She bursts out of the room as Agent Brown enters the hall, leading another unit of police. Trinity races to the opposite end, exiting through a broken window onto the fire escape. In the alley below, Trinity sees Agent Smith staring at her. She can only go up. On the roof, Trinity is running as Agent Brown rises over the parapet, leading the cops in pursuit. Trinity begins to jump from one roof to the next, her movement so clean, gliding in and out of each jump, contrasted to the wild jumps of the cops. Agent Brown, however, has the same unnatural grace. The roof falls away into a wide back alley. The next building is over 40 feet away, but Trinity's face is perfectly calm, staring at some point beyond the other roof.
Oh, that's it. We've got her.
The cops slow, realizing they're about to see something ugly as Trinity dives at the edge, launching herself into the air. From above, the ground seems to flow beneath her as she hangs in flight, then hits, somersaulting up, still running hard.
Jesus Christ, that's impossible.
They stare, slack-jawed, as Agent Brown duplicates the move exactly, landing, rolling over a shoulder, up onto a knee. It's a dizzying chase, and over the dark plateaued landscape of rooftops and sheer cliffs of brick ahead, she sees her only chance. 50 feet beyond the point where her path drops away to a paved chasm, there is a yellow glow in the midst of a dark brick building. Trinity zeroes in on it, running as hard as she can, and hurtles herself into the empty night space, her body leveling into a dive. She falls, arms covering her head, as the whole world seems to spin on its axis. Into the back stairwell, she crashes with an explosion of glass and wood. Then she falls on the back stairwell, tumbling, bouncing downstairs, bleeding, broken, but still alive. She wheels on the smashed opening above, her gun instantly in her hand, trained, waiting for Agent Brown, but is met by only a slight wind that hisses against the fanged maw of broken glass. Trinity tries to move. Everything hurts.
Get up, Trinity. You're fine. Get up. Just get up.
She stands and limps down the rest of the stairs. Trinity emerges from the shadows of the alley, and at the end of the block, in a pool of white streetlights, she sees it, the telephone booth. Obviously hurt, she starts down the concrete walk, focusing incompletely, her pace quickening as the phone begins to ring. Across the street, a garbage truck suddenly U-turns, its tires screaming as it accelerates. Trinity sees the headlights of the truck arcing at the telephone booth as if taking aim. Grifting through the pane, she races the truck, slamming into the booth, the headlights blindingly bright, bearing down on the box of plexiglass just as she answers the phone. There's a frozen instant of silence before the hulking mass of dark metal lurches up onto the sidewalk, barreling through the booth, bulldozing it into a brick wall, smashing it into a plexiglass pulp. And after a moment, a black loafer steps down from the cab of the garbage truck. Agent Smith inspects the wreckage. There's no body. Trinity is gone. His jaw sets as he grinds his molars in frustration. Agent Brown and Jones walk up behind him.
She got out.
It doesn't matter.
Drew.
The informant is real.
Agent
Yes.
Smith almost smiles.
Yes.
We have the name of their next target.
The name is Neo.
The handset of the payphone lays on the ground, separated in the crash like a severed limb.
We'll need a search running.
It's already begun.
We are sucked towards the mouthpiece of the phone, closer and closer, until the smooth gray plastic spreads out like a horizon and the small holes widen until we fall through one, swallowed by darkness. The darkness crackles with phosphorescent energy, the word searching blazing in and around us as we emerge from a computer screen. The screen flickers with a windowing data as the search engine runs with steady, relentless rhythm. We drift back from the screen and into Neo's apartment. It is a studio apartment that seems overgrown with technology. Weed-like cables coil everywhere, duct taped into thickets that wind up and around the legs of several desks. Tabletops are filled with cannibalized equipment that lay open like an autopsy corpse. At the center of this technological rat nest is Neo, a man who knows more about living inside a computer than outside one. He is asleep in front of his PC. Behind him, the computer screen suddenly goes blank. A prompt appears. Wake up, Neo. Neo's eyes pry open. He sits up, one eye still closed, looking around, unsure of where he is. He notices the screen. He types Control X, but the letter T appears.
What?
He hits another and the H appears. He keeps typing, pushing random functions and keys while the computer types out a message as though it had a mind of its own. He stops and stares at the 4 words on the matrix screen, or on the screen. The Matrix has you.
What the hell?
He hits the escape button. Another message appears. Follow the white rabbit. He hits it again and the message repeats. He rubs his eyes, but when he opens them, there's another message. Knock, knock, Neo. Someone knocks on the door and he almost jumps out of his chair. He looks back at the computer, but the screen is now blank. Someone knocks again. Neo rises, still unnerved.
Who is it?
Choi.
Neo flips open a series of locks and opens the door, leaving the chain on. A young person stands there with several of their friends.
You're 2 hours late.
I know. It's her fault.
You got the money?
$2,000.
He takes out an envelope and gives it to Neo through the cracked door.
Hold on.
He closes the door. On the floor near his bed is a book. Baldrildar's Simulacra and Simulations. The book has been hollowed out, and inside there are several computer disks. He takes one, sticks the money in the book, and drops it on the floor. Opening the door, he hands the disc to Choi.
Hallelujah. You are my savior, man. My own personal Jesus Christ.
If you get caught using that.
I know. This never happened. You don't exist.
Right.
Neo nods as the strange feeling of unrealness suddenly returns.
Something wrong, man? I mean, you're looking a little whiter than usual.
I don't know. My computer.
He looks back at Choi, unable to explain what just happened.
You ever have the feeling that you're not sure if you're awake or still dreaming?
All the time. It's called mescaline, and it's the only way to fly.
They smile and slap the hand in their nearest droog.
Sounds to me like you just need to unplug, man. A little R&R. What do you think, de jour? Should we take him with us?
Definitely.
I can't. I have to work tomorrow.
Come on, it'll be fun, I promise.
He looks at her and suddenly notices on her black leather motorcycle jacket dozens of pins, bands, symbols, slogans, military medals, and a small white rabbit. The room tilts.
Yeah, sure, I'll go.
An older apartment, a series of halls connects a chain of small, high-ceilinged rooms lined with heavy casements. Smoke hangs like a veil, blurring the few lights there are. Dressed predominantly in black, people are everywhere, gathered in cliques around pieces of furniture like jungle cats around a tree. Neo stands up against a wall, alone, sipping from a bottle of beer, feeling completely out of place. He is about to leave when he notices a woman staring at him. The woman is Trinity. She walks straight up to him in the nearest room. Shadow-like figures grind against each other to a pneumatic beat of industrial music.
Hello, Neo.
How do you know my name?
I know a lot about you. I've been wanting to meet you for some time.
Who are you?
My name is Trinity.
Trinity? The Trinity? The Trinity that cracked the IRSD base?
That was a long time ago.
Jesus.
What?
I just thought you were a guy.
Most guys do.
Neo's a little embarrassed.
Do you want to go somewhere and talk?
No, it's safe here. I don't have much time.
The music is so loud they must stand very close, talking directly into each other's ear.
That was you on the computer?
She nods.
How did you do that?
Right now, all I can tell you is that you're in danger. I brought you here to warn you.
Of what?
They're watching you, Neo.
Who is?
Please, just listen. I know why you're here, Neo. I know what you've been doing. I know why you hardly sleep, why you live alone, and why night after night you sit at your computer. You're looking for him.
Her body is against his, her lips very close to his ear.
I know because I was once looking for the same thing, but when he found me, he told me I wasn't really looking for him. I was looking for an answer.
There's a hypnotic quality to her voice, and Neil feels the words like a drug seeping into him.
It's the question that drives us, the question that brought you here. You know the question just as I did.
What is the Matrix?
When I asked him, he said that no one could ever be told the answer to that question. They have to see it to believe it.
She leans close, her lips almost touching his ear.
The answer is out there, Neo. It's looking for you and will find you if you want it to.
She turns and he watches her melt into the shifting wall of bodies. A sound rises steadily, growing out of the music, pressing in on Neo until all we can hear as we cut to Neo's apartment. The sound of an alarm clock slowly dragging Neo to consciousness. He strains to read a clock face. 9:15 in the morning.
Shit.
The downtown office of Metacortex, a software development company. And in the main office, as are along each wall, the windows overlooking downtown. Reinhardt, The ultimate company man lectures Neo without looking at him, typing at his computer continuously. Neo stares at two window cleaners on a scaffolding outside, dragging the rubber squeegees down the surface of the glass. Drew.
You have a problem with authority, Mr. Anderson? You believe that you're special, that somehow the rules don't apply to you. Obviously, you're mistaken.
His long bony fingers resume clicking the keyboards.
This company is one of the top software companies in the world because every single employee understands that they are part of the whole. Thus, if an employee has a problem, the company has a problem.
He turns again.
The time has come to make a choice, Mr. Anderson. Either you choose to be at your desk on time from this day forward, or you choose to find yourself another job. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, Mr. Reinhardt, perfectly clear.
At Neo's cubicle, the entire floor looks like a human honeycomb with a labyrinth of cubicles structured around a core of elevators.
Thomas Anderson?
Neo turns and finds a Federal Express guy at his cubicle door.
Yeah, that's me.
Neo signs the electronic pad and the FedEx guy hands him the soft pack.
Have a nice day.
He opens the bag. Inside is a cellular phone. It seems the instant it is in his hand, it rings. Unnerved, he flips it open.
Hello?
Hello, Neo. Do you know who this is?
Neo's knees give and he sinks into his chair.
Morpheus.
Yes, I've been looking for you, Neo. I don't know if you're ready to see what I want to show you, but unfortunately, we have run out of time. They're coming for you, Neo, and I'm not sure what they're going to do.
Who's coming for me?
Stand up and see for yourself.
Right now?
Yes, now.
Neo starts to stand.
Do it slowly. The elevator.
His head peeks over the partition. At the elevator, he sees Agent Smith, Agent Brown, and Agent Jones leading a group of cops. A female employee turns and points out Neo's cubicle. Neo ducks.
Holy shit.
Yes.
One cop stays at the elevator. The others follow the agents.
What the hell do they want with me?
I'm not sure, but if you don't want to find out, you better get out of there.
How?
I can guide you out, but you have to do exactly what I say.
The agents are moving quickly towards the cubicle.
The cubicle across from you is empty.
But what if...
Go, now.
Neo lunges across the hall, diving into the other cubicle, just as the agents turn into his row. Neo crams himself into a dark corner, clutching the phone tightly to him.
Stay here for a moment.
The agents enter Neo's empty cubicle. A cop is sent to search the bathroom. Morpheus's voice is a whisper in Neo's ear.
A little longer.
Brown is talking to another employee.
When I tell you, go to the end of the row to the first office on the left. Stay as low as you can.
Sweat trickles down his forehead.
Now.
Neo rolls out of the cubicle, his eyes popping as he freezes right behind a cop who has just turned around. Staying crouched, he sneaks away down the row, shooting across the opening to the first office on the left. That room is empty.
Good. Outside there is a scaffold.
How do you know all this?
Morpheus laughs quietly.
The answer is coming, Neo. There is a window in front of you. Open it.
He opens the window. The wind howls into the room.
You can use the scaffold to get to the roof.
No, it's too far away.
There's a ledge. It's a short climb. You can make it.
Neo looks down. The building's glass wall verticos into a concrete chasm.
No way. No way. This is crazy.
There are only two ways out of this building. One is that scaffold. The other is in their custody. You take a chance either way. I leave it to you.
Click. He hangs up. Neo looks at the door, then back at the scaffold.
This is insane. Why is this happening to me? What did I do? I'm nobody. I didn't do anything.
He climbs up the window ledge, hanging onto the frame. He steps onto the small ledge. The scaffold seems even further away.
I'm gonna die.
The wind suddenly blasts up up the face of the building, knocking Neo off balance. Recoiling, he clings harder to the frame, and the phone falls out of his hand. He watches as it is swallowed by the distance beneath him.
This is insane. I can't do this. Forget it.
He climbs back into the office just as the cops open the door.
Shit.
The agents lead a handcuffed Neo out of the revolving doors, forcing his head down as they push him into the dark sedan. Trinity watches in the rearview mirror of her motorcycle. In the interrogation room, we close in on a camera monitor, a wide-angle view of a white room where Neo is sitting at a table alone. We move into the monitor, entering the room as if the monitor was a window. At the same moment, the door opens and the agents enter. Agent Smith sits down across from Neo. A thick manila envelope slaps down on the table. The name on the file, Anderson, Thomas A.
As you can see, we've had our eye on you for some time now, Mr. Anderson.
He opens the file. Paper rattle marks the silence as he flips several pages. Neo cannot tell if he's looking at the file or at him.
It seems that you've been living two lives. In one life, you are Thomas A. Anderson, program writer for a respectable software company. You have a social security number. You pay your taxes. And you help your landlady carry out the garbage.
The pages continue to turn.
The other life is lived in computers, where you go by the hacker alias Neo, and are guilty of virtually every computer crime we have a law for.
Neo feels himself sinking into a pit of shit.
One of these lives has a future. One of them does not.
Oh, he closes the file. Hey.
I'm going to be as forthcoming as I can be, Mr. Anderson. You are here because we need your help.
He removes his sunglasses. His eyes are an unnatural ice blue.
We know that you have been contacted by a certain individual, a man who calls himself Morpheus. Whatever you think you know about this man is irrelevant. The fact is, he is wanted for acts of terrorism in more countries than any other man in the world. He is considered by many authorities to be the most dangerous man alive.
He leans closer.
My colleagues believe that I am wasting my time with you, but I believe you want to do the right thing. It is obvious that you are an intelligent man, Mr. Anderson, and that you are interested in the future. That is why I believe you are ready to put your past mistakes behind you and get on with your life.
Neo tries to match his stare.
We are willing to wipe the slate clean to give you a fresh start. And all we are asking in return is your cooperation in bringing a known terrorist to justice.
Neo nods to himself.
Yeah, wow. That sounds like a real good deal, but I think I have a better one. How about I just give you the finger?
He does.
And you give me my phone call.
Agent Smith puts his glasses back on.
You disappoint me, Mr. Anderson.
You can't scare me with this crap. I know my rights. I want my phone call.
Agent Smith smiles.
And tell me, Mr. Anderson, what good is a phone call if you are unable to speak?
The question unnerves Theo, and strangely he begins to feel the muscles in his jaw tighten. The standing agents snicker, watching Neo's confusion grow into panic. Neo feels his lips grow soft and sticky as they slowly seal shut, melding into each other until all traces of his mouth are gone. Wild with fear, he lunges for the door, but the agents restrain him, holding him to the chair.
You are going to help us, Mr. Anderson, whether you want to or not.
Smith nods, and the other two rip open his shirt. From a case taken out of his suit coat, Smith removes a long fiber optic wiretap. Neo struggles helplessly as Smith dangles the wire over his exposed abdomen. Horrified, he watches the electronic device animates, becoming an organic creature that resembles a hybrid of an insect and a fluke worm. Thin, whisper-like tendrils reach out and probe into Neo's navel. He bucks wildly as Smith drops the creature, which looks for a moment like an uncut umbilical cord, before it begins to burrow, its tail thrashing as it wormed its way inside. We're back in Neo's apartment. Screaming, Neo bolts upright in bed. He realized that he is home. Was it a dream? His mouth is normal. His stomach looks fine. He starts to take a deep, everything is okay breath when the phone rings. It almost stops his heart. It continues ringing, building pressure in the room, forcing him up out of bed, sucking him in with an almost gravitational force. He answers it, saying nothing.
Morpheus, Sam. Morpheus.
I'm sorry.
There.
The line is tapped, so I must be brief.
The agents.
They got to you first, but they've underestimated how important you are. If they knew what I know, you would probably be dead.
What the hell are you talking about? What the hell is happening to me?
You're the one, Neo. You see, you may have spent the last few years looking for me, but I've spent most of my life looking for you.
Neo feels sick.
Do you still want to meet?
Yes.
Go to the Adam Street Bridge.
Click. He closes his eyes, unsure of what he has done. We're on the city street. It is beyond the middle of the night, that time when it seems like there are no rules and everyone feels unsafe. Neo's boots scrape against the concrete. Every pair of eyes he passes seems to follow him. Rain pours from a black sky. As he reaches the bridge, headlights creep in behind him. He turns just as the car slides quickly to a stop beside him. The back door opens.
Get in.
A large man named APOC is driving. Behind him is a beautiful androgyne called Switch, aiming at a large gun at Neo. Window wipers beat heavily against the windshield.
What the hell is this?
It's necessary, Neo, for our protection.
From what?
From you.
She lifts a strange steel and glass device that looks like a cross between a rib separator, speculum, and an air compressor.
Take off your shirt.
He looks at the strange device and the gun still trained on him.
What? Why?
Stop the car.
APOC does.
Listen to me, Coppertop. We don't have time for 20 questions. Right now, there is only one rule. Our way or the highway.
Fine.
Neo opens the door.
Oh, please, you have to trust me.
Why?
Because you've been down there, Neo. You already know that road. You know exactly where it ends.
Neo stares out into the streets of rain, railing against the dark street beyond the open door.
I know that's not where you want to be.
He closes the door. On a dark street, a moment later, the green street lights curve over to the car's tinted windshield as it rushes through the wet underworld. Inside the car, Neo grudgingly strips off his shirt.
Lie back.
Trinity aims the device at Neo, its glass snout forming a seal over his navel. Switch snaps a cable into the front seat cigarette light holder.
What is this thing?
You think you're bugged. Try and relax.
She turns a dial and the machine bears down on Neo's midsection, the cylinder sucking hard at his stomach. Neo screams, squinting in pain as Trinity watches the needle on the pressure gauge climb steadily.
Come on, come on.
On a small monitor that projects an ultrasound-like image, we see Neo's insides begin to slither and churn. He grasps at something, wiggles beneath his skin, inside his stomach.
On the move.
Shit.
You're gonna lose it.
No, I'm not. Clear.
The foreboding word hangs in Neo's ears for a moment when Trinity squeezes a trigger. Electric current hammers into Neo and the rigid convulsions take hold of him beneath the flickering car lamp until something finally rockets wetly out of Neo's stomach through the extractor's coils.
Jesus Christ, it's real? That thing is real.
Trinity lifts the glass cage at the end of the tubing inside. The small fluke-like bug flips and squirms, its tendrils flapping against the clear walls. She unrolls the window and dumps it out. And outside the car, it hits the pavement with a metallic tink, reverting back into a common wiretap as the car disappears into the rainy night. In the Hotel Lafayette, the car stops in a deserted alley behind a forgotten hotel. It is a place of putrefying elegance, a rotting host of urban magotry. Trinity leads Neo to the stairwell down the hall of the 13th floor. They stop outside room 1313. Sorry, Trinity.
This is it.
Neo can hear his own heart pounding.
Let me give one piece of advice. Be honest. He knows more than you could possibly imagine.
Inside the room, across the room, a dark figure stares out of the tall windows veiled with decaying lace. He turns and his smile lights up the room. A dull roar of thunder and shakes the old building.
At last.
He wears a long black coat and his eyes are invisible behind his circular mirrored glasses. He strides to Neo and they shake hands.
Welcome, Neo. As you no doubt have guessed, I am Morpheus.
It's an honor.
No, the honor is mine. Please, come, sit.
He nods to Trinity and she exits through a door to an adjacent room. They sit across from one another in a cracked burgundy leather chair.
I imagine right now you must be feeling a bit like Alice, tumbling down the rabbit hole.
You could say that.
I can see it in your eyes. You have the look of a man who accepts what he sees because he's expecting to wake up.
A smile, razor thin, curls the corners of his lips.
Ironically, this is not far from the truth, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Can you tell me, Neo, why are you here?
You're Morpheus. You're a legend. Most hackers would die to meet you.
Yes, thank you. But I think we both know there's more to it than that. Do you believe in fate, Neo?
No.
Why not?
Because I don't like the idea that I'm not in control of my life.
I know exactly what you mean.
Again, that smile could cut glass.
Let me tell you why you are here. You have come because you know something. What you know you can't explain, but you can feel it, but you feel it. You felt it your whole life, felt that something is wrong with the world. You don't know what, but it's there like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. It is this feeling that brought you to me. Do you know what I'm talking about?
The Matrix.
Do you want to know what it is? That's a narrator line.
Oh, what am I at here? Do you want to know? Oh, Neo swallows, hard and nods.
The Matrix is everywhere. It's all around us, here, even in this room. You can see it out your window or on your television. You feel it when you go to work or go to church or pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth.
What truth?
That you are a slave, Neo. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, kept inside a prison, you cannot smell, taste, or touch. Prison for your mind.
The leather cracks as he leans back.
Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself.
Morpheus opens his hand. In the right, there's a red pill. In the left, a blue pill.
This is your last chance. After this, there is no going back. You take the blue pill.
Morpheus opens his, oh shit, hold on.
I'm sorry.
The pills, sorry, we're like trying to like figure out there's like an echo going on. So the pills in his open hands are reflected in the glasses.
After this, there's no going back. You take the blue pill and the story ends. You wake in your bed and you believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill and stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Neo feels the smooth skin of the capsules, the moisture growing in his palms.
Remember that all I am offering is the truth, nothing more.
Neo opens his mouth and swallows the red pill. The Cheshire smile returns.
Follow me.
He leads Neo into the other room, which is cramped with the high-tech equipment, glowing ash blue and electric green from the racks of monitors. Trinity, APOC, Switch, and Cypher look up as they enter.
APOC, are we online?
Almost.
He and Trinity are working quickly, hardwiring a complex system of monitors, modules, and drives.
Neo, time is always against us. Will you take a seat there?
Neo sits in a chair in the center of the room, and Trinity begins gently fixing white electrode discs to him. Near the chair is an old oval dressing mirror that is cracked. He whispers to Trinity.
You did all this?
She nods, placing a set of headphones over his ears. They are wired to an old hotel phone.
The pill you took is part of the TRACE program. It's designed to disrupt your input-output carrier signal so we can pinpoint your location.
What does that mean?
It means fasten your seatbelt, Dorothy, because Kansas is going bye-bye.
Distantly, through the earphones, he hears APOC pounding a keyboard. Sweat beads his face. His eyes blink and twitch when he notices the mirror. Wide-eyed, he stares as it begins to heal itself, a webwork of cracks that slowly run together as though the mirror were becoming liquid.
Did you?
Cypher works with APOC, checking reams of phosphorant data. Trinity monitors Neo's electric vital signs. Neo reaches out to touch the mirror, and his fingers disappear beneath the rippling surface. Quickly, he tries to pull his fingers out, but the mirror stretches in a long rubbery strands like mirrored taffy, sucks to his fingertips.
Have you ever had a dream, Neo, that you were so sure was real?
This can't be.
Be what?
Oh, okay.
Be real?
The strands thin like rubber cement as he pulls away until the fragile wisps of mirror thread back.
What if you were unable to wake from that dream, Neo? How would you know the difference between the dream world and the real world?
Neo looks at his hand, fingers distended into mirrored icicles that begin to melt rapidly, dripping, running like wax down his fingers, spreading across his palm where he sees his face reflected.
Uh-oh.
It's going into replication.
APOC?
Still nothing.
Morpheus takes out a cellular phone and dials a number.
Tank, we're going to need the signal soon.
The mirror gel seems to come to life, racing, crawling up his arm like hundreds of insects. The mirror creeps up his neck as Neo begins to panic, tipping his head as though he were sinking into the mirror, trying to keep his mouth up.
It's cold.
I got fibrillation.
Shit. APOC.
Streams of mercury run from Neo's nose.
I'm targeting almost there.
An alarm on Trinity's monitor erupts.
He's going into arrest.
Lock, got him.
Now, Tank, now.
His eyes tear with mirror, rolling up and closing as a high-pitched electric scream erupts in the headphones. It is a piercing shriek like a computer calling to another computer. Neo's body arches in agony, and we are pulled like we were pulled into the holes of the phone, sucked into a scream and swallowed by darkness. We're in a power plant, close on a man's body, floating in magenta amnion. His body spasms, fighting against the thick gelatin. Metal tubes, surreal versions of hospital tubes obscure his face. Other lines like IVs are connected to limbs that cover his genitals. He's struggling desperately now. Air bubbles into the jello, but it does not break the surface. Pressing up, the distance The surface distends, stretching like a red rubber cocoon. Unable to breathe, he fights wildly to stand, clawing at the thinning elastic shroud until it ruptures, a hole widening around his mouth as he sucks for air. Tearing himself free, he emerges from the cell. It's Neo. He is bald and naked, his body slick with gelatin. Dizzy, nauseous, he waits for his vision to focus. He is standing in an oval capsule of clear alloy filled with magenta gelatin, the surface of which is solidified like curdled milk. The IVs in his arms are plugged into outlets that appear to be grafted to his skin flesh. He feels the weight of another cable and reaches to the back of his head where he finds an enormous coaxial plugged into and locked into the base of his skull. He tries to pull it out, but it would be easier to pull off a finger. To either side, he sees other tube-shaped pods filled with magenta gelatin. Beneath the wax-like surface, pale and motionless, he sees other human beings. Fanning out in a circle, there are more, all connected to a center core, each capsule like a red, dimly glowing petal attached to a black metal stem. Above him, level after level, the stem rises, seemingly forever. He moves to the foot of the capsule and looks out. The image assaults his mind, towers of glowing petals spiraling into incomprehensible heights, disappearing down into a dim murk like an underwater abyss. His sight is blurred and warped, exaggerating the intensity of the vision. The sound of the plant is like the sound of the ocean heard from inside the belly of Leviathan. From above, a machine drops directly in front of Neo. He swallows the screams as it seems to stare at him. It is almost insect-like in its design, beautiful housings of alloyed metal covering organic-like systems of hard and soft polymers. The machine seizes hold of Neo, paralyzing him as the cable lock at the back of the neck spins and opens. The cable disengages itself. A long, clear plastic needle and cerebrum chip slides from the anterior of Neo's skull with an ooze of blood and spinal fluid. The other connective hoses snap free and snake away as the machine lets Neo go. Suddenly, the back of the unit opens and a tremendous vacuum, like an airplane door opening, sucking the gelatin and then Neo into a black hole. We're in the waistline. The pipe is in a waste disposal system and Neo falls, sliding into the clot of gelatin, banking through pipe spirals and elbows, flushing up through grease traps clogged with oily clumps of cellulite. Ew. Neo begins to drown. He is suddenly snatched from the flow of waste. The metallic cable then lifts, pulling him up into the belly of a futuristic flying machine hovering inside the sewer main. The metal harness opens and drops the half-conscious Neo onto the floor. Human hands and arms help him up as he finds himself looking straight at Morpheus. He smiles. Oh, you're...
Welcome to the real world, Neo.
Neo passes out. We have no sense of time. We hear voices whispering.
We've done it, Trinity. We found him.
I hope you're right.
I don't have to hope it. I know it.
Neo's eyes flutter open. We see Morpheus' face above us, angelic in the fluorescent glow of a light stick.
Am I dead?
Far from it.
Fade to black. In an infirmary, his eyes open up again, something tingling through him. He focuses and sees his body pierced with dozens of acupuncture-like needles wired to a strange device.
He still needs a lot of work.
Dozer and Morpheus are operating.
Morpheus! Hey, after those 3 pages of dialogue, you are allowed to have a slip up. I will give it to you. Come on, Morpheus.
Morpheus. Let me change that right quick. How do you spell that? M-O.
Minus the R. I'll do it for you.
That's a whole ass moon.
Done.
Hi, Reg.
Okay.
Okay, we're on Neo, I think.
No, for real. Fix that back, please.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Your muscles have atrophied. We're rebuilding them.
Fluorescent light sticks burn unnaturally bright.
Why do my eyes hurt?
You've never used them before.
Morpheus closes Neo's eyes and Neo lies back.
Rest, Neo. The answers are coming.
In Neo's room, Neo wakes up from a deep sleep, feeling better. He begins to examine himself. There's a futuristic IV plugged into the jack of his forearm. He pulls it out, staring at the grafted outlet. He runs his hand over the short hair now, covering his head. His fingers find and explore the large outlet in the base of his skull. Just as he starts to come unglued, Morpheus opens the door.
Morpheus, what happened to me? What is this place?
More important than what is when.
When?
You believe the year is 1999, but in fact, it is much closer to 2,199 or 2199. There we go. I can't say for certain what year it is because we honestly do not know.
The wind is knocked from Neo's chest.
There is no reason for me to try to explain it when I can simply show it. Come with me.
Inside the hovercraft, like a sleepwalker, Neo follows Morpheus through the ship.
This is my ship, the Nebuchadnezzar. It's a hovercraft. Small like a submarine. It's cramped and cold, but it's home.
They climb a ladder up the main deck. Everyone's there.
This is the main deck. You know most of my crew.
Trinity smiles and nods.
The ones you don't know, that's Mouse, Cypher, and Switch. Those two guys are Tank and Dozer.
The names and faces wash meaninglessly over Neo.
And this is the core. This is where we broadcast our pirate signal and hack into the Matrix.
It is a swamp of bizarre electronic equipment. Vines of coaxial hang and snake to and from huge monolithic battery slabs, a black portable satellite dish, and banks of life systems and computer monitors. At the center of the web, there's a 6 ectoskeleton chairs made of polyalloy frame and suspension harness. Near the circle of chairs is the control console and the operator station where the network is monitored.
You want to know what the Matrix is, Neo? The answer is right here.
He touches the back of Neo's head.
Help him, Trinity.
Neo allows himself to be helped into one of the chairs. He feels Morpheus guiding a coaxial line into the jack at the back of his neck. The cable has the same kind of cerebrum chip that we saw inside the plant.
This will feel a little weird. There are several disturbing noises as he works the needle in.
Oh, that's me. We move in. I did a really bad job of this. I'm sorry, y'all. As we move in as Neo's shoulders bunch and his face tightens into a grimace until a loud click fires and his ears pop like when you equalize them underwater. He relaxes, opening his eyes as we pull back to a feeling of weightlessness inside another place. In the construct, Neo is standing in an empty, blank white space.
This is the construct.
Startled, Neo whips around and finds Morpheus now in the room with him.
It is our loading program. We can load anything from clothes to weapons to training simulations. Anything we need.
Morpheus walks past Neo, and when Neo turns, he sees the 2 leather chairs from the Hotel Lafayette set up in front of a large screen television.
Sit down.
Neo stands at the back of the chair as Morpheus sits. Hey, Neo.
Sorry, it was muted. Right now, we're inside a computer program.
Morpheus smiles.
Is it so hard to believe? Your clothes are different. The plugs in your arms and head are gone. Look at your hair. You were bald a moment ago.
Neo touches his head.
It's what we call residual self-image, the mental projection of your electronic self. Wild, isn't it?
Neo's hands run over the cracked leather.
This isn't real.
What is real? How do you define real? If you're talking about what you feel, taste, smell, or see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain.
He picks up a remote control and clicks on the television. On the television, we see images of the 20th century city where Neo lived.
This is the world you know, the world as it was at the end of the 20th century. It exists now only as part of a neural interactive simulation that we call the Matrix.
He changes the channel and we see a very different city as we enter the television.
You have been living inside a dream world, Neo. As in Baudrillard's vision, your whole life has been spent inside the map, not the territory. This is the world as it exists today.
In the distance, we see the ruins of a futuristic city protruding from the wasteland like the blackened ribs of a long dead corpse.
The desert of the real, aka when Scar took over the Pride Lands.
Beneath us, the water is gone. We turn and descend, spiraling down toward the lake bed, which is scorched and split like burnt flesh, where we find Morpheus and Neo. Neo clings to the chair, trying to get his bearings.
We have only bits and pieces of information. What we know for certain is that at some point in the early 21st century, all of mankind was united in celebration. Through the binding inebriation of hubris, we've marveled at our magnificence as we gave birth to AI.
AI, you mean artificial intelligence?
Yes, a singular consciousness that spawned an entire race of machines. I must say, I find it almost funny to imagine the world slapping itself on the back, toasting the new age. I say, almost funny.
He looks up and his sunglasses reflect the obsidian clouds roiling overhead.
We don't know who struck first, us or them, but we do know it was us that scorched the sky. At the time, they were dependent on solar power. It was believed they would be unable to survive without an energy source as abundant as the sun.
As we descend into the circular window of his glasses, there's a flash of lightning.
Throughout human history, we have been dependent on machines to survive. Fate, it seems, is not without a sense of irony.
On the flash, we pull back from the darkness, which reveals itself to be the black eye of a fetus.
The machines discovered a new form of fusion. All they needed was a small electrical charge to initiate the reaction.
The fetus is suspended in a placenta-like husk, where its malleable skull is already growing around the brain jack.
The human body generates more bioelectricity than a 120-volt battery and over 25,000 BTUs of body heat.
The husk hanging from a stalk is plucked like a thresher-like farm machine.
There are fields, endless fields where human beings are no longer born. We are grown.
We rise up, the field stretching in every direction to the horizon, lightning tearing open the sky as a harvester sweeps past us. Inside the power plant, from the yawning black of the waste-port, we begin to pull back as it snaps shut. Red amniotic gel flows into the pod below us, pooling around a tiny newborn that suckles at its feed tube.
For the longest time, I wouldn't believe it. But then I saw the fields with my own eyes, watched them liquefy the dead so they could be fed intravenously to the living, and standing there, facing the efficiency, the pure, horrifying precision, I came to realize the obviousness of the truth.
Still pulling back, we see the image of the power plant now on the television as we return to the white space of the construct. Morpheus steps into view as he clicks off the television.
What is the Matrix? Control.
He opens the back of the television remote control.
The Matrix is a computer-generated dream world built to keep us under control in order to change a human being into this.
He holds up a copper top battery.
No, I don't believe it. It's not possible.
I didn't say that it would be easy, Neo. I just said that it would be the truth.
Stop. Let me out. I want out.
In the main deck, his eyes snap open and he thrashes against the chair, trying to rip the cable from the back of his neck.
Get this thing out of me.
Easy, Neo, easy.
That's what she said.
Dozer holds him while Trinity unlocks it. Once it's out, he tears away from them, falling as he trips free of the harness.
Don't touch me. Get away from me.
On his hands and knees, he reels as the world spins. Sweat pours off of him as pressure builds inside his skull, as if his brain has been put into a centrifuge.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Gonna pop.
Vomiting violently, Neo pitches forward and blacks out. Inside Neo's room, he blinks, regaining consciousness. The room is dark. Neo is stretched out on his bed.
Can't go back, can I?
Morpheus is sitting like a shadow on a chair in the far corner.
No. But if you could, would you really want to?
Deep down, Neo knows that answer.
I feel that I owe you an apology. There is a rule that we do not free a mind once it reaches a certain age. It is dangerous. They have trouble letting go. Their mind turns against them. I've seen it happen, and I'm sorry. I broke the rule because I had to.
He stares into the darkness, confessing as much to himself as to Neo.
When the Matrix was first built, there was a man born inside that had the ability to change what he wanted, to remake the Matrix as he saw fit. It was this man that freed the first of us and taught us the truth. As long as the Matrix exists, the human race will never be free.
He pauses.
When he died, the oracle prophesied his return and envisioned that his coming would halt the destruction of the Matrix and into the war and freedom of our people. That is why there are those of us that have spent our entire lives searching the Matrix, looking for him.
Neo can feel his eyes on him.
I did what I did because I believe the search is over.
He stands up.
Get some rest. You're going to need it.
For what?
Your training.
In the hovercraft, there is no morning. There's only darkness, and then the fluorescent lights sticks flicker on. Inside Neo's room, Neo is awake in his bed, staring up at the lights. The door opens and Tank steps inside.
Morning. Did you sleep?
No.
You will tonight. I guarantee it. Tank, I'll be your operator.
He offers his hand, and Neo shakes it. He notices that Tank doesn't have any jacks.
You don't have any...
Any holes? Nope. Me and my brother Dozer, we are 100% pure, old-fashioned, homegrown human. Born free right here in the real world. Genuine child of Zion.
Zion?
If this war ended tomorrow, Zion is where the party would be.
It's a city.
Last human city. Only place we got left.
Where is it?
Deep underground near the Earth's core where it's still warm. If you live long enough, you might even see it.
He smiles.
God damn, I got to tell you, I'm fairly excited to see what you're capable of. I mean, if Morpheus is right and all. We're not supposed to talk about any of that, but if you are, well, this is an exciting time. We've got a lot to do, so let's get to it.
In the main deck, Neo is plugged in, hanging in one of the suspension chairs.
We're supposed to load all these operations programs first, but that's some major boring shit. Why don't we start with something a little fun?
Tank smiles as he plops into his operator's chair. He begins flipping through a tall carousel loaded with microdiscs.
How about some combat training?
Neo reads the label on the disc.
Jiu-jitsu. I'm gonna learn jiu-jitsu.
Tank slides the disc into Neo's supplemental drive.
No way.
Smiling, Tank punches the load code. His body jumps against the harness as his eyes clamp shut. The monitors kick wildly as his heart pounds, adrenaline surges, and his brain sizzles. An instant later, his eyes snap open.
Holy shit.
Hey, Mikey likes it. Ready for more?
Hell yes.
In the main deck, close in on a computer monitor as gray pixels slowly fill a small half-empty box. It is a meter displaying how much download time is left. The title bar reads Combat Series 10 of 12. File categories flashing beneath it. Savate, Jiu-Jitsu, Kenpo, Drunken Boxing. Morpheus walks in.
How is he?
10 hours straight. He's a machine.
Hey. Neo's body spasms and relaxes as his eyes open, breath hissing from his lips. He looks like he just orgasmed.
This is incredible. I know Kung Fu.
Show me.
In the dojo, they are standing in a very sparse Japanese-style dojo.
I'm sorry, y'all. My thing is acting stupid, and I don't know why. Can you all see me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh, well, I can't see y'all.
Oh no.
Well, I can, but I can't. Okay, it's fine. This is a sparring program, similar to the programmed reality of the Matrix. It has the same basic rules like gravity. What you must learn is that these rules are no different than the rules of a computer system. Some of them can be bent, others can be broken. Understand?
Neo nods as Morpheus assumes a fighting stance.
Then hit me if you can.
Neo assumes a similar stance, cautiously circling until he gives a short cry and launches a furious attack. It's like a Jackie Chan movie at high speed, fists and feet striking from every angle as Neo presses his attack, but each and every blow is blocked by effortless speed. On the main deck, while their minds battle in the programmed reality, the two bodies appear quite serene, suspended in the drive chairs. Tank monitors their life systems, noticing that Neo is wildly and chaotically lit up as opposed to the slow and steady rhythm of Morpheus. Mouse burst into the room, interrupting dinner.
Morpheus is fighting Neo. Come on, this shit's whack. You gotta see this.
All at once, everyone bolts for the door. In the dojo, Neo's face is knotted, teeth clenched as he hurls himself at Morpheus.
Good. Adaptation, improvisation. But your weakness isn't your technique.
Morpheus attacks him, and it is like nothing we have seen. His feet and fists are everywhere, taking Neo apart. For every blow Neo blocks, 5 more hit their marks until Neo just falls. Panting on his hands and knees, blood spits from his mouth, specking the white floor of the dojo.
How did I beat you?
You're too fast.
Do you think my being faster, stronger, has anything to do with my muscles in this place?
Neo is frustrated, still unable to catch his breath.
Do you believe that's air you're breathing now?
Neo stands, nodding slowly.
Again.
Their fists fly with pneumatic speed. Everyone is gathered behind Tank, watching the fight, like watching a game of Mortal Kombat.
Jesus Christ, he's fast. Look at his neural kinetics. They're way above normal.
In the dojo, Morpheus begins to press Neo, countering blows while slipping in several stinging slaps.
Come on, Neo. What are you waiting for? You're faster than this. Don't think you are. No, you are.
Whack! Morpheus cracks Neo again. Neo's face twists with rage as the speed of the blows rises like a drum solo.
Come on. Stop trying to hit me and just hit me.
Wham! A single blow catches Morpheus on the side of the head, knocking off his glasses. On the main deck, there are several gasps.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
In the dojo, Morpheus rubs his face and then smiles.
I know what you're trying to do.
I'm trying to free your mind, Neo. Free your mind. Follow. I had to do it, sorry. But all I can do is show you the door. You're the one that has to step through. Tank, load the jump program.
APOC and Switch exchange looks as Tank grabs for the disc. In the construct, on the rooftop, day 57, Morpheus and Neo are again in the white space of the construct. Beneath their feet, we see the jump program rush up at them until they are standing on a rooftop in a city skyline.
Let it all go, Neo. Fear, doubt, disbelief. Free your mind.
Morpheus spins, running hard at the edge of the rooftop, and jumps. He sails through the air, his coat billowing out behind him like a cape as he lands on the rooftop across the street.
Shit.
Neo looks down at the street 20 floor below, then at Morpheus, an impossible 50 feet away.
Okie dokie. Free my mind. Right? No problem.
Takes a deep breath and starts to run. On the main deck, everyone's transfixed.
What if he makes it?
No way, not possible.
No one's ever made their first jump.
I know, but what if he does?
He won't.
Trinity stares at the screen, her fists clenching as she whispers.
Nah.
On the rooftop, summoning every ounce of strength in his legs, Neo launches himself into the air in a single maniacal shriek, but he comes up drastically short. His eyes widen as he plummets. Stories fly by, the ground rushes up at him, but as he hits, the ground gives way, stretching like a trapeze net. He bounces and flips, slowly coming to a rest, flat on his back. He laughs, a bit unsure, wiping the wind-blown tears from his face. Morpheus exits the building and helps him to his feet.
Do you know why you didn't make it?
Because I didn't think I would.
Morpheus smiles and nods. On the main deck, they break up.
What does it mean?
Didn't realize they were dating.
When did this happen?
It was a little molecule, didn't you notice?
God.
What does it mean?
It doesn't mean anything.
Everyone falls the first time, right, Trinity?
But Trinity already left.
This
Neo's
bitch.
eyes open as Tank eases the plug out. He tries to move and groans, cradling his ribs, while Tank helps Morpheus. Neo spits blood into his hand.
I thought it wasn't real.
Your mind makes it real.
Neo stares at the blood.
If you're killed in the Matrix, do you die here?
The body cannot live without the mind.
Back in Neo's room, Trinity enters from the hall carrying a tray of food.
I saved you some dinner.
She sees him passed out on the bed. She sets the tray down and pulls the blanket over him. She pauses, her face close to him, then inhales lightly, breathing in the scent of him before slowly pulling away. That's so creepy.
Really creepy.
In the hallway, Trinity steps out of Neo's room to find Cypher watching her, even creepier.
I was about to say, and following up that creepiness, I don't remember you ever bringing me dinner.
Trinity says nothing.
There's something about him, isn't there? Also creepy.
Yep.
Don't tell me you're a believer now.
I just keep wondering if Morpheus is so sure, why doesn't he take him to the Oracle? She would know.
Marcus will take him when he's ready.
She turns and watches her walk away. On the city street, we're in a training program, day 63. Morpheus moves effortlessly through a crowded downtown street, while Neo struggles to keep up, constantly bumped and shouldered off the path.
The Matrix is a system, Neo, and that system is our enemy. But when you are inside and you look around, what do you see? Businessmen, lawyers, teachers, carpenters, the minds of the very people we are trying to save. But until we do, these people are still a part of the system, and that makes them our enemy.
A cop writing a parking ticket stares at Neo from behind his sunglasses.
You have to understand that most of these people are not ready to be unplugged, and many of them are so inured, so hopelessly dependent on the system that they will fight to protect it.
A beautiful woman in a red dress smiles at Neo as she passes by.
Were you listening to me, Neo? Or were you looking at the woman in the red dress?
I was.
Look again.
Neo turns just as Agent Smith levels a gun at his face. Neo screams.
Freeze it.
Everything except Morpheus and Neo freezes.
This isn't the Matrix.
No, it's another training program designed to teach you one thing. If you're not one of us, you're one of them.
What are they?
Sentient programs. They can move in and out of any software still hardwired to their system. That means that anyone that we haven't unplugged is potentially an agent. Inside the Matrix, they are everyone and they are no one.
Neo stares at the agent.
We've survived by hiding from them, running from them, but they are the gatekeepers. They're guarding all the doors, holding all the keys, which means that sooner or later, someone is going to have to fight them.
Someone?
I won't lie to you, Neo. Every single man or woman who has stood their ground, who has fought an agent, has died. But where they failed, you will succeed.
Why?
I've seen an agent punch through a concrete wall. Men have emptied entire clips at them and hit nothing but air. Yet their strength and their speed are still based on a world that is built by rules. Because of that, they will never be as strong or as fast as you can be.
Neo scratches his head.
What? Are you trying to tell me that I can dodge bullets?
No, Neo. I'm trying to tell you that when you're ready, you won't have to.
Morpheus' cell phone rings and he flips it open.
We got trouble.
Exterior of a sewer main. The Nebuchadnezzar blusters by, trailing a swirling supercharged electromagnetic wave. Inside the cockpit, Morpheus slides into the co-pilot's chair next to Dozer.
Did Zion send the warning?
No, another ship. Big Brother, I think. They're running a parallel pipeline.
Morpheus scans the decayed landscape of the sewer main that rolls by as Neo and Trinity squeeze into the cockpit behind him. An alarm begins to sound.
Shit, Squiddy's sweeping in quick.
Set it down in there.
Woody?
Sentinel. It's a killing machine designed for one thing.
Search and destroy.
Neo feels the ship rock to the side as it squeezes into a tiny supply line. In the hovercraft, God damn this name, the Nebuchadnezzar.
You had it the first time.
I know, it just freaks me out because it's a big word. Sits down, almost wedged into a pipe that barely accommodates its size. In the cockpit, Morpheus clicks the intercom.
Damn it!
This all sounds so sexual.
It does.
It's almost like it's purposeful.
Right.
How we doing, Tank?
In the main deck, Tank works furiously at the operator station as the ceaseless whir of the ship's turbines grind to a halt. The main deck is plunged into a dark silence. The rest of the crew stands behind him as
You
he
talking about
whispers.
sexual? Is this the rest of the screw right there?
Oh, wow. Like, are we interrupting something? Okay.
Apparently.
Power offline, EMP armed and ready.
Tank's fingers curl around a small key that glows a dim red. In the cockpit, Neo leans into Trinity's ear.
EMP?
An electromagnetic pulse. It disables any electrical system in the blast radius. It's the only weapon we have against the machines.
Dozer looks up.
Now we wait.
Through the cockpit's windshield, the vast cavern of the sewer main yawns before them. Strands of green haze curl around mossy icicles that dangle into a pool of churning frozen waste. Neo begins to angle around Dozer, but Morpheus grabs him.
Don't move. It'll hear you.
Neo freezes and they wait. Without the Nebuchadnezzar's heating system, the temperature in the cockpit begins to rapidly drop. The crew members huddle together, their breathing freezing into a uniform cloud as it gets colder and colder. Dozer quietly reaches to brush away the frost on the windshield, and his hand clears a swath. They see it. In the darkness, a shifting shadow of mechanized death. It is beautiful and terrifying. Black alloy skin flickers like sequins beneath sinewy coils and skeletal appendages. Neo can feel the hairs on the back of his neck rise as it silently glides over them with a shark-like malevolence until it disappears into the darkness. In the frozen little room, everyone breathes a little easier. In the hall, the ship is quiet and dark. Everyone is asleep. The core glows with monitor light. Cypher is in the operator's chair as Neo comes up behind him.
Whoa! Neo, shit. You scared the bejesus out of me.
Sorry.
No, it's all right.
Neo's eyes light up as he steps closer to the screens that seem alive with a constant flow of data.
Is that...
Matrix? Yeah.
Neo stares at the endlessly shifting river of information, bizarre codes and equations flowing across the face of the monitor.
Do you always look at it encoded?
You have to. The image translators sort of work for the construct program, but there's way too much information to decode the matrix. You get used to it though. Your brain does the translating. I don't even see the code. All I see is blonde, brunette, redhead. Hey, you want a drink?
Neo nods and he pours a clear alcohol from a plastic jug.
You know, I know what you're thinking because right now I'm actually thinking the same thing. Actually, to tell you the truth, I've been thinking the same thing ever since I got here.
He raises the glass.
Why, oh why didn't I take the blue pill?
He throws the shot down his throat. Neo does the same and it almost kills him. Smiling, Cypher slaps him on the back.
Good shit, eh? It's good for Dozer makes it, and it's good for two things, degreasing engines and killing brain cells.
Red-faced, Neo finally stops coughing. Cypher pours him another.
Can I ask you something? Did he happen to tell you why he did it?
Neo looks up, unsure.
Why you're here?
Yeah.
Jesus! What a mind job. So you're here to save the world. You gotta be shitting me. What do you say something like that?
Neo looks down at his drink.
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret here. Now don't tell him I told you this, but this ain't the first time Morpheus thought he found the one.
Really?
You bet your ass. Keeps him going. Maybe keeps all of us going.
How many were there?
5 since I've been here.
What happened to them?
Dead.
How?
All dead. You're good. You're good. They're all dead still. Honestly, Morpheus, you got them all amped up believing in his bullshit. I watched each of them take on an agent, and I watched each of them die. Little piece of advice. You see an agent, you do what we do. Run. You run your ass off.
Neo gulps down another shot.
Thanks for the drink.
Anytime.
Cypher nods as Neo heads for the ladder.
Sweet dreams.
In a restaurant, there's chamber music and an ambiance of wealth soak the restaurant around as we watch with a serrated knife saw through a thick and gorgeous steak. The meat is so perfect, charred on the outside, oozing red juice from the inside, that it could be a dream. We hear a voice that we recognize immediately.
Do we have a deal, Ms. Reagan?
A fork stabs the cube of meat, and we follow it up to the face of Cypher.
You know, God, I guess slide back. The screen screen's fucking me up. I know the steak doesn't exist. I know that when I put it in my mouth, the Matrix is telling my brain that it is juicy and delicious. After 9 years, you know what I've realized?
He shoves it in, eyes rolling up, savoring the tender beef melting in his mouth. Hey.
Ignorance is bliss.
Agent Smith watches him chew the steak loudly, smacking it between his teeth.
So goddamn good.
Then we have a deal.
I don't want to remember nothing. Nothing. You understand? I don't want to be rich. Someone important. Like an actor. You can do that, right?
Whatever you want, Ms. Regan.
Cypher takes a deep drink of wine.
Yeah. All right. You get my body back in the power plant, reinsert me into the Matrix, and I'll get you what you want.
Access codes to the Zion mainframe.
No, I told you, I don't know them. But I can give you to the person who does.
Morpheus.
Clothes on breakfast, a substance with consistency somewhere between yogurt and cellulite.
Gross.
Yeah. There you go, buddy.
So basically,
champions.
jizz. Got it.
Oh,
Thanks for that.
Breakfast of champions.
Tank slides it in front of Neo and takes a seat with the other crew members, enjoying breakfast.
You mean breakfast, lunch, and dinner of champions?
If you close your eyes, it's almost like you're eating runny eggs.
Or a bowl of snot?
Ew.
You know what it really reminds me of?
Jizz.
Cream of wheat. Did you ever eat cream of wheat?
No, but technically neither did you.
Exactly my point, because you have to wonder, how do the machines know what cream of wheat really tasted like, huh? Maybe they got it wrong. Maybe what I think cream of wheat tasted like really tasted like oatmeal or tuna fish. It makes you wonder about a lot of things. Take chicken, for example. Maybe they couldn't figure out what to make chicken taste like, which is why chicken tastes like everything. And
Hey,
maybe...
shut up, mouse.
Neo scoops up a spoonful.
It's a single-celled protein combined with synthetic aminos, vitamins, and minerals. It's everything your body needs. We grow it in a vat.
Oh, no, it doesn't have everything the body needs.
He sidles up to Neo.
So I understand you've run through the agent training program. Yep, I wrote that program.
Oh, here it comes.
So what did you think of her?
Who?
The woman in the red dress. I designed her. She doesn't talk much, but if you'd like to, meet her, I could arrange a more personalized blow.
The digital pimp hard at work.
Pay no attention to these hypocrites, Neo. To deny our impulses is to deny the very thing that makes us human.
Morpheus enters.
I want everyone on 12-hour standby. We're going in. I'm taking Neo to see her.
With that, he turns and leaves.
See who?
The Oracle.
On the main deck, everyone is strapped into their chairs. Tank is at the operator station.
All right, everyone, please observe the no smoking and fasten seatbelt signs have been turned on. Sit back and enjoy your flight.
He strikes the enter key and we rush clockwise over the chairs, each body reacting as we cut to Hotel Lafayette, room 1313, spinning counterclockwise around an old phone that rings inside an empty room until we spin full circle and find everyone now standing there. Morpheus answers the phone.
We're in.
The door opens, and for the first time since his release, Neo steps back into the Matrix. He squints at the sun, which seems unnaturally bright. He is the only one without sunglasses. APOC and Switch remain at the door as the others enter the alley.
We should be back in an hour.
Cypher opens the driver's door of an old car as Trinity, Morpheus, and Neo cross to the car. Cypher glances about quickly, then drops something inside a garbage can. It's a cellular phone, and we see its blue display as the line connects. Oh, hey. In the car, Neo sits beside Trinity, and in the back, he cannot stop staring at the simple images of the urban street blur past his window like an endless stream of data rushing down the computer screen.
Almost unbelievable, isn't it?
Neo nods as the car continues to wind through the crowded city.
God,
What?
I used to eat there. Really good noodles.
He's speaking in a whisper, almost as if talking to himself.
I have these memories from my entire life, but none of them really happened.
He turns to her.
What does that mean?
The Matrix cannot tell you who you are.
But an oracle can?
That's different.
Obviously.
He turns to the window for a moment and then turns back.
Did you go to her?
Yes.
What did she tell you?
She told me.
Oh, sorry. She looks at him and suddenly she's unable to speak or even breathe.
What?
The car suddenly jerks to a stop.
We're here. Neo, come with me.
Neo and Morpheus get out of the car. Cypher looks into the rearview mirror at Trinity.
Here we go again, Trin. Creepo!
I know. He smiles as she turns to the window. Exterior building, we see a tenement-like and vast. It is the kind of place where people can disappear. Morpheus nods to a blind man who nods back. An elevator opens and Neo follows Morpheus inside. The idea of learning one's fate begins to weigh upon Neo with a steady growing unease.
So is this the same oracle that made the prophecy?
Yes, she's very old. She's been with us since the beginning.
The beginning
of the resistance.
And she knows what? Everything?
She would say she knows enough.
And she's never wrong.
Don't think of it in terms of right and wrong. She is a guide, Neo. She can help you find the path.
She helped you?
Yes.
What did she tell you?
That I would find the one.
Ding! The elevator opens. Interior hall. The long, dark hall beckons. Neo follows Morpheus out of the elevator, and the doors rattle shut behind him. With every step, a disturbing sense of inevitability closes in around him. At the end of the hall, Morpheus sneezes, and he steps over the side of the door.
Morpheus got allergies, y'all. I told you that I can only show you the door. You have to step through it.
Neo blows out a breath. His hand reaches, but stops, hovering over the spherical handle. He backs away.
Morpheus, I don't think this is a good idea.
Why?
I told you that I don't believe in this stuff. No matter what she says, I'm not going to believe it, so what's the point?
What do you believe in?
What do I believe in? Are you kidding me? What do you think? The world I grew up in isn't real. My entire life was a lie. I don't believe anything anymore.
That's why we're here.
Why? So I can hear some old lady tell me what? That I'm the guy that everybody's been waiting for, that I'm supposed to save the world? It sounds insane, unbelievable. And I don't care who says it, it's still going to sound insane and unbelievable.
Faith is not a matter of reasonability. I do not believe things with my mind. I believe them with my heart, in my gut.
And you believe I'm the one?
Yes, I do.
Yeah? What about the other 5 guys? The 5 before me? What about them?
Morpheus tries to hide his heart being wrenched from his chest.
Did you believe in them too?
I believe what the oracle told me. No, I misunderstood what she told me. I believed that it was all about me.
This is difficult for Morpheus to admit.
I believe that all I had to do was point my finger and anoint whoever I chose. I was wrong, Neo. Terribly wrong. Not a day or night passes that I do not think of them. After the 5th, I lost my way. I doubted everything the oracle had said. I doubted myself.
He looks up at Neo.
And then I saw you, Neo, and my world changed. You can call it an epiphany. You can call it whatever the hell you want. It doesn't matter. It's not about a word. It's about this. So I can't explain it to you. All I can do is believe, Neo. Believe that one day you will feel what I felt and know what I know. You are the 6th and the last. You are the one.
His eyes blaze.
Until that time, all I am asking from you is for you to hold on to whatever respect you may have for me and trust me.
Neo feels a rush from Morpheus's intensity, the unadulterated confidence of a zealot.
All right.
He reaches for the handle, and which turns without him ever touching it. A woman wearing white opens the door.
Hello, Neo. You're right on time.
In the Oracle's apartment.
Thank you.
Neo, come with me.
She leads Neo down another hall and into what appears to be a family room. There is another woman in white sitting on a couch watching a soap opera. Scattered about the room are a half dozen children. Some of them are playing, others are in deep meditation. All of them exude a kind of Zen calm.
These are the other potentials. You can wait here.
Neo watches a little girl levitate wooden alphabet blocks. Closer to him, a skinny boy with a shaved head holds a spoon, which sways like a blade of grass. In front of him, a pile of spoons bent and twisted into knots. Neo crosses to him and sits. The boy smiles and hands Neo the spoon, which is now perfectly straight.
Do not try to bend the spoon. That is impossible. Instead, only try to realize the truth.
What truth?
Neo nods, staring at the spoon.
That there is no spoon.
There is no spoon.
Then you will see it is not the spoon that bends. It's only yourself.
The entire room is reflected inside the spoon, and as Neo stares into it, it slowly begins to bend until a hand touches his shoulder.
The Oracle will see you now.
Spoon Boy smiles. An older woman is huddled beside the oven, peering inside through a cracked door.
Hello?
I know. You're Neo. Be right with you.
You're the Oracle?
Bingo. Not quite what you were expecting, right? I've got to say, love seeing you non-believers. It's always a pip. Almost done. Smells good, don't they?
Yeah.
I'd ask you to sit down, but you're not going to anyway. And don't worry about the vase.
What vase?
He looks down. Oh, he turns to look around, and his elbow knocks a vase from the table. It breaks against the linoleum floor.
That vase.
I'm sorry.
She pulls out a tray of chocolate chip cookies and turns. She's an older woman.
Did you just call me old?
Yeah, I
I
was
swear
waiting for
to
that.
Jesus, this bitch ass motherfucker. Oh, every time I either die or get called old, y'all fucking casting me in some shit.
Okay,
All right, go ahead.
anyway, she's an older woman wearing big oven mitts, comfortable slacks, and a print
Oh,
blouse.
God.
She looks like someone's
Don't
grandma.
you even say it. Don't you fucking ass bitch motherfucker. I swear to Jesus.
Category is made for me.
Where's
Young
that?
and supple.
Remember
Still got it.
that news thing with the older lady? She was like, an 80-year-old lady, and she was like, excuse me, 76.
75.
Yeah,
75. That's exactly me right now.
I know.
I said don't worry about it. I'll get one of my kids to fix it.
How'd you know?
She sets the cookie tray on a wooden hot pad.
What's really going to bake your noodle later on is, would you still have broken it had I not said anything?
Smiling, she lights a cigarette. That's why you look
You
so
know-
damn old.
You fucking bitch. You're cuter than I thought. I see why she likes you.
Oh,
Not too bright though.
She winks.
You see, you know why Morpheus brought you to see me, right?
He nods.
So, what do you think? You think you're the one?
honestly, I don't know.
She gestures to a wooden plaque, the kind every kitchen has, except that the words are in Latin.
You know what that means. It's Latin. Means know thyself. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Being the one, it's just like being in love. Nobody can tell you you're in love. You just know it through and through, balls to bones.
She puts her cigarette down.
Well, better have a look at you. Open your mouth, say ah.
She widens his eyes. checks his ears, then feels the glands in his neck. She nods, then looks at his palms.
Okay, now I'm supposed to say, interesting. And then you say,
You're supposed to have the butt in there. Sorry.
It still works.
Oh,
But-
sorry.
but you already know what I'm going to tell you.
I'm not the one.
Sorry, kid. You got the gift, but looks like you're still waiting on something.
What?
Next life, maybe. Who knows? That's how these things go.
Neo almost has to laugh.
What's so funny?
Morpheus, he almost had me convinced.
I know, poor Morpheus. Without him, we're all lost.
What do you mean without him?
The Oracle takes a long drag, regarding Neo with the eyes of a sphinx.
You sure you want to hear this?
Neo nods.
Morpheus believes in you, Neo, and not one, not you, not even me can convince him otherwise. He believes so blindly that he's going to sacrifice his life to save yours.
What?
You're going to have to make a choice. On one hand, you'll have Morpheus's life, and on the other hand, you'll have your own. One of you will die. Which one is up to you?
Neo can't breathe.
Sorry, kiddo. Really am. You've got a good soul, and I hate giving good people bad news. But don't worry. As soon as you walk outside that door, you'll start feeling better. You'll remember that you don't believe any of this fake crap. You're in control of your own life, remember?
He tries to nod as she reaches for the tray of cookies.
Here, take a cookie. Promise by the time you're done eating it, you'll feel right as rain.
Neo takes a cookie, and the tightness of his chest slowly begins to fade. In the sitting room, Morpheus rises from a couch as the priestess escorts Neo out. When they are alone, Morpheus puts his hand on Neo's shoulder.
Morpheus! Unmute yourself!
Excuse you, you loud. Stop yelling at me. Thank you. You don't have to tell anyone what she told you. What was said for you and you alone.
Neo nods and takes a bite of his cookie. Neo and Morpheus get in the car.
Let's go.
Cypher looks into the rearview mirror at Neo.
Well, good news or bad news?
Not now, Cypher.
This is why I'm selling your ass out.
Cypher slaps the car into gear and pulls into traffic. Trinity looks at Neo, who is staring at the final bit of cookie. He puts it in his mouth and chews.
Are you all right?
Right as rain.
In room 1313, Mouse's cellular rings.
Welcome to Movie Phone.
Hello?
Yeah.
They're on their way.
As they get out of the car, Cypher smiles at Neo.
Like the man says, welcome to the real world.
Cypher, following the others into the hotel, nervously glances around, wiping the sweat from his forehead. On the main deck, sweat rolls down Cypher's face and neck. At the operator station, Tank is typing rapidly.
What is that?
At Hotel Lafayette, light filters down the throat of the building through a cage skylight at the top of the open elevator shaft. 6 figures glide up the dark stairs that wind around the antique elevator. Neo notices a black cat, a yellow green-eyed shadow that slinks past them and pads quickly down the stairs. But a moment later, Neo sees another black cat that looks and moves identically to the first one.
Whoa, deja vu.
Those words stop the others dead in their tracks. On the main deck, the monitor suddenly glitched as though the Matrix had an electronic seizure.
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
And at the Hotel Lafayette, Trinity turns around, her face tight.
Did you just say?
Nothing, just had a little deja vu.
What happened? What did you see?
A black cat went past us, and then I saw another that looked just like it.
How much like it? Was it the same cat?
Might have been, I'm not sure.
Trinity looks at Morpheus, who listens quietly to the rasping breath of the old building.
What is it?
Deja vu is usually a glitch in the matrix. It happens when they're changing something.
She also listens as at the staccato beat of helicopter blades grow ominously loud. On the main deck, Tank sees what has changed.
It's a trap!
Come on, Admiral Akbar. On the staircase, Morpheus looks up the stairs as he hears a helicopter.
Come on.
Apoc slaps a gun into Neo's hand.
Something to ward off evil spirits.
Neo nods, stuffing it into his belt. In the basement, heavy bolt cutters snap through the main phone cable. In room 1313, hearing the helicopter, Mouse goes to the draped windows as his cellular rings. He answers it.
They cut the hard line. It's a trap. Get out.
Mouse yanks open the curtain.
Oh no.
Oh my God.
The windows are bricked up. Mouse spins as the rumble of combat boots builds, then explodes into the room. Tank watches helplessly.
No.
In the stairs, Morpheus stops as Mouse's scream is drowned out by the report of machine gun fire. In room 1313, Mouse sails backwards as bullets pound against him, the blood-splattered brick window. In the main deck, Mouse's body thrashes against his harness, blood coughing from his nose in one final spasm. Then, lying perfectly still, the flatline alarm softly cries out from the life monitor. On the stairwell, flying downstairs, Morpheus stops, hearing police swarming below. In the hall, he turns and rushes down the hall of the 8th floor. At the end of it, he finds the bricked up windows.
That's what they changed. We're trapped. There's no way out. I totally didn't do this.
The sound of heavy bootsteps closes around them with the mechanical sureness of a vice.
You're an asshole, Cypher. Give me your phone.
They'll be able to track it.
We have no choice.
Morpheus rips off his jacket. On the main deck, Tank answers the call.
Tank, find a structural drawing of this building and find it fast.
At Hotel Lafayette, flashlights probe the rotting darkness as the police search every floor. On the main deck, the diagram windows onto the screen.
Got it.
I need the main wet wall.
In room 1313, Agent Smith stands over Mouse's dead body, his hand going to his earpiece. In room 808, Morpheus is guided by Tank.
Now left,
Morpheus.
and that's in front of you.
Good. Narrator, you changed my name one more time.
I'm sorry. I keep hearing my own voice come back to me, and it's fucking with me. In room 1313, Agent Smith hears the line click dead.
8th floor. They're on the 8th floor.
And stairwell, Agent Brown listens to his earpiece. And then the boots clatter up the marble staircase. Cops flood the 8th floor, rushing everywhere. Several cops sweep through the room. It is empty. As they pass the bathroom, we see a man-sized hole smashed through the plaster and lath. Interior wall, they are inside the main plumbing wall, slowly worming their way down the grease-black stacked pipes. Above them, light fills the hole as they made to get inside. Agent Brown and Agent Smith stand over Morpheus's jacket. I think it's supposed to be Dozer.
Oh.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So Dozer says, Agent Brown says, where are they? In room 808, the cops search in silence, straining for a clue when one hears something strange near the bathroom. Cypher has slipped and is wedged between the wall and several thick supply pipes. The cop leans in, his ear almost against the thin membrane of the plaster separating them. He can hear whispers, hisses, and a grunt. Ooh, when the wall suddenly bulges, shatter cracking as the cop realizes.
They're in the walls.
Thank you. I did not do a good job of moving these parts. Sorry, everybody.
Good.
Trinity pulls Cypher free just as the cop opens fire. Bullets punching shafts. God, this is so sexual. Like swords into the box of suit black space. Neo finds his gun first and begins blasting wildly through the plaster and laugh. In room 608, the cop spins out of the bathroom for cover. Neo's bullets splintering the door jamb. About to whirl back in, he freezes as something seems to seize hold of him. The cop's body starts to spasm, and his M16 falls to the ground, long shadows springing up from the mounted flashlight. Neo listens for a moment, the gunfire quiet, when he hears the footsteps rising fast. Two arms suddenly smash to the wall, punching Neo back against the iron stack pipe, fingers gouging into his neck.
It's an agent!
Just as Neo's throat is about to collapse, Morpheus explodes through the tattered plaster and laugh, diving on top of Agent Smith. The two men crash to the wet terrazzo.
You had it.
Before Agent Smith can find his weapon, Morpheus is on him, pinning him to an iron grip. In the crawl space, Trinity tries to scramble up past Cypher.
Morpheus!
Morpheus squeezes Agent Smith's throat.
Morpheus, unmute yourself.
I swear, I think I be killing the shit and then no one can hear me. Trinity, you must get Neo out. Do you understand? He is all that matters.
Neo suddenly glimpses what is happening, but is powerless to stop it.
No, Morpheus, don't.
Trinity, go.
Trinity's fists ball in frustration. She yells down to APOC.
No!
We can't leave him.
We have to.
She grabs his ankle and they begin almost falling, using the laugh as a brake, skidding down the inside of the wall. This part of the basement, a dark concrete cavern, was the main mechanical room. There are 4 enormous boilers, dinosaur-like technology that once pumped hot water like arteries. Soldiers' blinding light cuts open the darkness as Trinity, Neo, and the others crash to the ceiling. Around them, they hear a chorus of short, sharp coughs of grenade launchers from gas-masked figures. Smoke blossoms from the green metal canisters. Trinity never stops moving. Searching the floor, she finds what she needs, the cover of the catch basin. Cypher watches her pry open the grate when a gas can bounces near him.
Come on.
Cypher seems to trip as the cloud envelopes him. Trinity watches Cypher disappear into the smoke, then follow the others down the wet black hole. Ew.
Damn it!
Morpheus and Agent Smith remain on the ground, locked in each other's death grip.
Great Morpheus, we meet at last.
And you are?
Smith. I am Agent Smith.
You all look the same to me.
That hurts my feelings.
Agent Smith counters Morpheus and slowly begins to pry his hands from his throat, striking like a viper. Morpheus drives a vicious headbutt into Agent Smith's face. His nose and glasses shatter. Agent Smith, unfazed, smiles, blood oozing from the shattered bridge of his nose, and returns Morpheus's headbutt with 3 of his own in pneumatic succession. Oh, everything's pneumatic. Morpheus staggers back, his body going slack when another kick buries him deep into crushing plaster and lathe. Okay. All of others was laugh. There was no E at the end. That's weird. Okay, anyway, Morpheus turns in time to see the wall of men in the doorway. Hey.
Take him.
The wall of cops rushes Morpheus, filling the tiny bathroom until he disappears under the tide. On the main deck, Tank reaches out to the screen as if reaching for Morpheus.
No!
And scene. That's the end of Act 1. It's a little longer than some of the other ones. So in order to compensate for that, we're going to actually take a 20-minute break. We're going to come back at 9. We're going to come back at 9:20.
Thank you, Jesus.
So we can all rest. Ginger can get herself some water. Learn how
Lord,
to,
Yes.
learn how to pronounce
Help her.
Morpheus.
learn how to read.
Help her distinguish envelopes and envelops.
Oh shit!
And so at any rate, we'll see you in about 20 minutes.
Thank you, 20.
and-
Thank you,
Thank you,
20.
20.
20.
20.
Ugh.
Oh my
There was like this crazy echo going on. I couldn't tell who it was.
Hey, don't forget that you're not muted.
Oh shit balls.
Also, super fun fact, in the middle of my talking as an oracle, the delivery guy was calling because nobody was answering the door, even though I checked leave it on the freaking porch.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That don't make no sense.
So like as I'm being the oracle, like he keeps calling back a couple of times. So then I went upstairs and like nothing was there and I was like, fucking hell. So I called him back.
Oh,
I was like,
what was going on?
Yeah.
I can think of why you just be so clogged up. I poop every day, just like Kingsley, who's just waiting for you to come out.
Hey, whoever poops every day, I just need you to know that everybody heard that because you're not on mute.
Oh Jesus!
I have no words. I have no words for that. I need another
Just-
drink for that. I'm
I
just
just
gonna.
need to make
You
sure
know
whoever
what?
that was knows.
I'm just gonna hit mute all, and we're just gonna let the silence just carry us into 9:20.
All right, sounds good.
Oh shit. I'm gonna push this back all the way. Does it help any somewhat close enough? Fuck it. Actually, no. There, I can actually not bend.
The old ass Oracle's on a mission to get us dinner, so they might be a little late getting back.
That's fine. The old ass Oracle. I heard everything about. I still had these in, so I heard everything about the. But what were y'all getting? Pizza?
I was kept asking, "Where's the food?" Apparently, there was like a delivery guy or something. He's talking.
I heard that.
Drew, you're talking, but you're muted, so we can't hear shit.
Here, hold on. I got him. All right, you should be unmuted now. Maybe I don't know.
There we go. Yeah, I had to approve it.
I heard the story about. I heard the story when I was doing that. And by the way, y'all, I paid good money for this steak, so I'm gonna eat the rest of this.
Well, hell yeah! I'm jealous.
That's to all y'all out there who's watching and wondering when this is gonna start in like 6 minutes. I paid good money for this steak. It came from Carnivore on the Hill, so.
I'm fucking starving.
Meat is murder. Look, when you have a vegan on cast, they gotta say something. Okay.
I'm an asshole. Okay, we all know that though.
Look,
Why do I look like Steve? Why do I look like Steve Jobs in this sweater?
You do. Well, especially with the background.
Yeah, iPhone 20 plugs into your brain.
Right. Plug it in the back of your head.
Also, thank God I'm out of the Matrix in like 5 minutes so I can take this tiny ass jacket off.
Yeah, all you have left is that one line as the pilot.
Yeah. I'm good. Well, it's good because everybody is going to start changing characters soon. So of course that means I've got to start keeping up with who is doing what in what scene.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Sean, did you change your avatar for this to the fucking code since you can't have the background?
What? Me?
Yeah, you did. I hate. That's how you get around. That's how you get around the horrible Coraline-ness of it all.
It's called method acting.
At least it doesn't give you meth mouth.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
No, y'all missed the Coraline eyes that.
I guess that just means that your teeth are real white.
Oh, hey. Or they're the same exact off-white as the wall.
All right, let me
I was trying to be nice.
I know.
All right.
I appreciate that, babe.
Speaking of which, we still need to get me a new head for the electric toothbrush because I'm getting really frustrated using that fucking manual one like it's 1999.
Same, girl.
Yeah, I need a new one.
No, we had a super unfortunate accident where somebody happened to knock my toothbrush head into the toilet.
We still know who because it wasn't me.
Yeah, Ginger says it wasn't her, and it was fine when I left for the day.
I think it was
y'all. I was about to say, was it? I was going to say, was it Regina?
No, I think it was our other roommate.
Nah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
up
about.
on counters or anything.
Yeah, she's pretty good. She sleeps all the time anyway.
Sometimes.
Unless she scares the crap out of me while I'm trying to read a script and noses my elbow.
Hi, Reg.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, hi, babe.
God.
Is she upstairs with you? Because she's not down here.
Yeah, she's on the love seat.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, now literally everybody. Only 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 5 people make it out of the next like 10 minutes in their same character.
Oh my god, so many fucking spoilers, Sarah.
I haven't read that far yet.
The movie came out in 1999, okay? Like, give us some fucking time to see it. Jesus.
But does the Titanic sink? That's all I need to know.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Snape kills Dumbledore. I don't even care about spoiling that one at this point because JK's a fucking turf.
Jesus dies at the end of the movie.
The Titanic thing.
But on
Oh,
the
that's
third
right.
day, don't let me get into my Baptist mode now, okay?
Sorry.
On the third day.
Listen, Morpheus, you already being the
Morpheus.
prophet. That is official.
Jesus, okay.
Oh yeah, I meant to go grab a Coke because my brain is hurt. So I'll be right back.
Right. Also
You're
because
good.
she's all about drugs.
You're good.
She's gonna go take a bump.
Man, I watched
Again, like it's 1999.
I think
She's
was
just
it yesterday or the day before. No, it was
Yeah.
before, because yesterday I watched Black is King, and I got
Oh
my
yeah.
Black
Life. It's
Look.
on my. It's happening for me
Look.
after we finish this.
I know y'all not black, but I need y'all to go see it. Like
It's on my list literally after this.
on the Disney Plus. I need y'all to see it in Beyonce's life. I'm sorry.
Did you see that Disney Plus actually has a whole section for like black movies? Like it's specifically like, hey, if you want some black movies, go through these. And I was like, I saw that a couple of days ago, and I was like, I'm gonna continue working my way through these.
They don't want no.
Criterion Channel did that too.
They don't want no problems. Disney, they don't want no problems.
Nope, they want. Yep. All right. So while we're waiting for Ginger, welcome back to Act 2 of this.
Thank you, back.
And before I talk about what we have next on the slate, I want to turn it over to Cadaver, who I have been really lax at renaming them for Neo, to explain our charity of choice tonight, which is the Transgender Law Center, and why they do the important work that they do. So Cadaver, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, so Transgender Law Center rocks. They are the largest transgender-led civil rights organization in the United States. They do a lot of advocating for like making name changes easier and helping people in prison and helping trans immigrants. Their focus recently has been on Black and brown trans women and trans people living with HIV and all sorts of good stuff. They are massive and they aim to challenge law and policy in a way that affects attitudes outside of that, so that trans people, and also they focus on non-binary people, which is cool, can live free from discrimination regardless of gender identity. And they're great. And if you have a couple extra bucks to kick around, you should throw them that extra couple bucks, because right now is a weird time to be a trans person who is alive in the United States.
Preach that shit.
Word.
So the donation link is in the YouTube page on the chat side. I think it's actually on this side. And we're up to 155 of our $500 goal as of last check. If you haven't donated already, do so I can report bigger and better numbers at the end of this thing.
Yeah.
Before I also go into what's coming next, also got to give a big shout out. I got to give a big shout out for this script, because this script is verbose and it's beautifully verbose. I feel bad for Ginger for it.
I don't know. I
Nice
bit
little,
off way more than I
nice
could.
little ACT word right
I'm
there.
just remembering the mess that was the Galaxy Quest script, where they apparently gave up on spell check towards the end.
Yes. Yeah. But that's another big shout out to Lily and Lana Wachowski. I will also recommend that if you haven't watched Lana Wachowski did a speech for a queer rights organization that I'm not going to give voice to because they don't do enough for trans folk, but you can find this speech out there. It's beautiful. Go watch it. It's really inspiring. Also explains a lot of what happens in this film. So coming up, yes.
I was wondering if you would maybe, after the reading, for those of us not as much in the know, be willing to discuss the metaphors of this relating to our charity.
The allegory.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh
that
God, yeah. There's absolutely.
I would love to hear, because I'm trying to catch it, and I would love to hear someone a little more in the know explain what different things are supposed to represent.
I'm trying to go through it. Like I'm going in. Well, I can tell you one thing for sure right now is that the pill scene, back in the day, estradiol was actually a red pill.
Whoa.
So that's the
Okay.
one. That's one thing right there. Is take that, and we'll talk about a lot more about the allegories afterwards. If people want me to stay on and philosophize and Morpheus this shit, I will. Or we
I would
can
be
just do it
very
as cast or
interested.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and I
So,
think even to that point, you know, when Ginger and I were watching the movie the other night, you know, she made the comment that, you know, even knowing that it's supposed to be an allegory, you know, and being in the community, like she was having trouble seeing some of it. But for a lot of people of trans experience, there are a lot of things that are kind of clear to us, but it flies under the radar of people who don't go through that
Right.
all the
And
time.
I think that the biggest thing is because it is Hollywood, and the biggest allegory or theme that is addressed is, of course, Christianity, that there is this one singular being that saves us all and the savior. And I think a lot of just immediately off the top, straight people identify with that more so than anyone that's in the LGBTQIA community.
And that's part of why this film is so genius, is because it can be interpreted so many different ways. But let's talk about 2 weeks from now, and then 2 weeks after that, since there's 5 Saturdays this month, we decided to tack on a couple more script readings. On the 15th, we are doing a script reading of the wonderful 1991 buddy road trip movie, Thelma and Louise, where we're going to be raising money for Alive Inc., which is alternative living initiatives in I'll get it on the day of. It's to help victims of domestic abuse
which is good.
Great.
Which is good. I will be playing everyone's favorite Hillary hater, Susan Sarandon, as Louise. And Molly Alice Minks, who y'all remember from our Galaxy Quest and Heather's reading, is going to be back as my Thelma.
So perfect casting.
It's literally like I'm really excited for this one, and I'm also excited for what comes after that. And this is one that Ginger picked the charity on. For the 29th, we are doing the 1985 classic John Hughes film, The Breakfast Club.
Fun.
And we're doing that for the Trevor Project. Is that?
Yeah,
that's what we said, right?
That's what I picked. Yeah.
Trevor Project. So join us for those. YouTube. I'll put the posters and stuff up as well, and the links once we get past this weekend and past raising money for the Transgender Law Center. So without further ado, because I know y'all got lives and we don't want to be here till 1 a.m. reading the rest of this, Ginger, take us in to Act 2.
A manhole. Are you talking? Okay. Oh, hold on 1 second. Sorry, I got notes from Director Oracle over there. So, a manhole cover cracks open. 2 eyes peek out just as a truck rattles over it. The thunder Dopplers away and the cover opens. Trinity climbs out. And on the main deck, Tank is at the monitor searching the matrix when the phone rings.
Operator.
I just lost my place. I need an exit fast.
Cypher?
Cypher is standing at a public phone. Across the street is the burning paddy wagon that appears to have collided with an oncoming car.
There was an accident, goddamn car accident. All of a sudden, boom. Jesus, someone up there still likes me.
I gotcha.
Just get me out of here.
Nearest exit is Franklin Erie, an old TV repair shop.
Cypher hangs up and smiles as we hear fire trucks in the distance. Cypher?
An actor, definitely. I said an actor, definitely.
Okay, well, it didn't come up at first. Sorry.
An actor, definitely. An actor, definitely.
All right. On the main deck, the phone rings. Tank answers.
Tank, it's me.
All 4 moving quickly down a back street.
Is Morpheus still alive?
Is Morpheus still alive, Tank?
Yes, they're moving him. I don't know where yet.
He's alive.
Again, inevitability seems to cinch around Neo.
He didn't exit.
You're not far from Cypher.
Cypher? I thought.
So did we. I sent him to Franklin and Erie.
Got it.
In a TV repair shop in a deserted alley, Cypher steps onto a dumpster in front of a small boarded up window. And dead machines, eviscerated and shrouded with dust, lay on metal shelves like bodies in a morgue. Plywood covering a small window is ripped off, and Cypher crawls inside. Deep in the back room, a phone that has not rung in years begins to ring. Trinity sees the TV repair shop, and Tank punches the exit command.
Got him.
Cypher's body twitches in its harness, jerking itself awake. Neo crawls through the window that Cypher opened. On the main deck, Tank finishes loading the exit program as Cypher pulls back a heavy blanket, exposing a high-tech rifle. In the TV repair shop, the phone begins to ring as the others crawl in.
God, I love that sound.
Oh, crap.
Oh, still me? Okay. Oh, that's me. Suddenly, a white bolt of lightning explodes against Tank's chair, blasting him into the air. Cypher checks the gun, unable to believe he missed. Tank is on his feet, lunging when Cypher fires again, square into his chest.
No!
The phone is still ringing.
You first, Neo.
Neo answers the phone when there is a click. There is no signal, nothing but silence.
What happened?
Don't know. It just went dead.
Trinity listens to the dead line and takes out the cellular. The operator phone begins to ring. Cypher steps over the sizzling body of Dozer and looks at the monitor. In the repair shop, every unanswered ring rings her gut a little tighter until...
Hello, Trinity.
Cypher? Where's Tank?
He had an accident.
An accident?
Muted. Hey, intercut with on the main deck. He walks over to Trinity's body, staring at it, hanging in its coma-like stillness.
Told you he was a creeper.
Yeah.
You know, for a long time, I thought I was in love with you, Trinity. I used to dream about you.
Ew. He nuzzles his face against hers,
Oh,
feeling
God!
the softness of it.
Fucking nasty.
You are a beautiful woman. I'm not putting any emphasis in this part. You are a beautiful woman. Too bad things didn't work out like this.
You killed them.
What?
Oh, God.
Wearing Tank's operator headgear, Cypher moves along the silent bodies.
I'm tired, Trinity. I'm tired of this war. I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of this ship, of being cold, of eating the same goddamn goop every day. But most of all, I'm tired of this jagoff and all his bullshit.
Cypher leans over, talking to Morpheus.
Surprise, asshole. Bet you never saw this coming. Did you? God, I wish I could be there. When they break you, I wish I could walk right in just as it happens. So right then you'd know it was me.
My God. Morpheus. You gave them Morpheus?
He lied to us, Trinity. He tricked us. If he would have told us the truth all along, we would have told him to shove that red pill right up his ass.
That's not true, Cypher. He set us free.
Free. You call this free. All I do is what he tells me to do. If I have to choose between that and the Matrix, I choose the Matrix.
Matrix isn't real.
Oh, I disagree, Trinity. I disagree. I think the Matrix can be more real than this world. I mean, all I do here is pull a plug. Here. But there, you have to watch APOC die.
She looks up at APOC, her face going white.
Trinity.
He grabs hold of the cable in APOC's neck, twists it, and yanks it out.
Welcome to the real world, hey baby.
Apoc seems to go blind for an instant, a scream caught in his throat, his hands reaching for nothing, and then he falls dead.
No!
But you're out, Cypher. You can't go back.
That's what you think. They promised to take me back. They're gonna reinsert my body. I'll go back to sleep. When I wake up, I'll be fat, rich, and I won't remember a goddamn thing. The American dream.
He laughs, his hand sliding around the neck of Switch as he takes hold of her plug.
Okay, for one, that's really sexual. Two,
Yeah.
baby, I'm really sorry about this. By the way, if you have anything terribly important to say to Switch, I suggest you say it now.
No, please don't.
Trinity's eyes find Switch, and she knows she's next.
Not like this. Not like this.
She suddenly feels her body severed from her mind as she is murdered.
Too late.
Ah, damn you, Cypher.
Don't hate me, Trinity. I'm just the messenger. And right now I'm gonna prove it to you.
He stands over Neo.
If Morpheus is right, then there's no way I can pull this plug, is there? What is going on? Did Reg come in again?
Yeah, she keeps going
No,
back and
sorry.
forth between us. Sorry.
Regina's chasing a fly downstairs.
Oh,
Okay.
you're
Okay.
distracting me, Drew.
I muted myself so that I wouldn't distract anybody else, and then you had to fuck it up.
Well, because I was
There's-
like, what the fuck is going on over there? Anyway.
There's no way I can pull this plug, is there?
Okay. She turns to Neo, eyes wide with fear, and he knows he is next.
If he really is the one, then in the next few seconds there has to be some kind of miracle to stop me, right? I mean, how can he be the one if he's dead?
He takes hold of the cord. Reg.
You never did answer me, Trinity, when I asked you before if you bought Morpheus's bullshit. Come on. You can tell me, didn't you? All I want is a little yes or no. Look into his eyes, Trinity, those big, pretty eyes, and tell me the truth. Yes or no?
Trinity stares at Neo as a single word falls soundlessly from her lips.
Yes.
No!
Charred and bloody, Tank levels the gun.
I don't believe it!
Believe it or not, you piece of shit, you're still gonna burn.
Yeah!
He fires a crackling bolt of lightning that knocks Cypher flying backwards.
Thank God I can take the sweater off.
At the repair shop, Trinity throws her arms around Neo, and for a moment they are alone and alive until the phone rings.
Go, you first this time.
On the main deck, Trinity's eyes snap open, a sense of relief surging through her at the side of the ship. As Tank unplugs her, she sees his charred wounds.
Hank, you're hurt.
I'll be all right.
Dozer?
Tank's face tightens, and she takes him into her arms. We're in a government building now. Government high-rise in the middle of downtown, where a military helicopter sets down on the roof. Agent Jones gets out of the helicopter, flanked by columns of Marines. They open the roof access door and enter the top floor maintenance level of the hotel. In the executive office, Agent Smith stands staring out the window at the city below, shimmering with brilliant sunlight.
You ever stood and stared at it, Morpheus, marveled at its beauty, its genius? Billions of people just living out their lives, oblivious.
Morpheus is handcuffed to a chair, stripped to the waist. He is alternately shivering and sweating, wired to various monitors with white disc electrodes. Beside him, Agent Brown sucks a serum from a glass vial, filling a hypodermic needle.
Did you know that the first Matrix was designed to be a perfect human world, where none suffered, where everyone would be happy? It was a disaster. No one would accept the program. Entire crops were lost.
Agent Brown jams a needle into Morpheus' shoulder and plunges down.
Some believed we lacked the programming language to describe your perfect world. But I believe that as a species, human beings define their reality through suffering and misery.
Agent Brown studies the screens as the life signs react violently to the injection.
The perfect world was a dream that your primitive cerebrum kept trying to wake up from, which is why the Matrix was redesigned to this, the peak of your civilization.
He turns from the window.
I say your civilization because as soon as we started thinking for you, it really became our civilization, which is, of course, what this is all about. Evolution, Morpheus. Evolution.
He lifts Morpheus's head.
Like the dinosaur. Look out that window. You had your time.
Morpheus stares hard at him, trying not to show the pain racking his mind.
The future is our world, Morpheus. The future is our time.
Agent Smith looks at Agent Brown.
Double the dosage.
Agent Jones suddenly enters.
There could be a problem.
On the main deck, Tank drapes a sheet over his dead brother. Yikes. The other bodies are covered. Neo looks at Morpheus, whose body is covered with a cold sweat.
What are they doing to him?
They're breaking into his mind. It's like hacking a computer. All it takes is time.
How much time?
Depends on the mind, but eventually it'll crack and its alpha pattern will change from this to this.
Tank punches several commands on Morpheus' personal unit. Hey, the monitor waves change from a chaotic pattern to an ordered symmetrical one.
When it does, Morpheus will tell them anything they want to know.
What do they want?
The leader of every ship is given the codes to Zion's mainframe computer. If an agent had those codes and got inside Zion's mainframe, they could destroy us.
He looks up at Trinity, who is pacing relentlessly.
We can't let that happen, Trinity. Zion is more important than me, or you, or even Morpheus.
Trinity sees Cypher's dead body. Rage overtakes her and she kicks him.
God damn it! God damn it!
I'm already dead.
There has to be something we can do.
There is. We have to pull the plug.
You're gonna kill him? Kill Morpheus?
Trinity, we don't have any other choice.
Morpheus is fighting to hold his mind together. The agents stand over him.
Never send a human to do a machine's job.
If indeed the insider has failed. Sorry, I'm gonna mouthful of food. That was terribly timed. They will sever the connection as soon as possible. Unless.
They're dead. In either case.
We have no choice but to continue as planned. Deploy the Sentinels immediately.
On the main deck, Tank kneels beside Morpheus' body. Neo suddenly sees it perfectly clear, fate rushing at him like an oncoming train.
Morpheus, you are more than our leader. You were a father. I'll miss you always.
Trinity can't bear to watch as she closes her eyes. Her tears slip free. Stop making me laugh. This is not the right affect. Okay, sorry.
It's hilarious that we're losing Morpheus. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're about to kill a man.
Oh shit.
In real life, it would be hella sad if
I know, I'm sorry.
I
Tank closes his eyes and takes
Oh,
hold of
shit.
the plug. Ew, that grosses me out when they say that. I don't know. Neo is paralyzed. His whole life is suddenly suspended by the finality of this moment, hurling at him with the speed of a bullet.
Ow.
They both look at him.
God damn it, I don't believe this is happening.
Yo, this has to be done.
Does it? I don't know. This can't just be a coincidence. It can't be, can it?
What are you talking about?
The Oracle. She told me this would happen. She told me
Neo stops, his stare fixed on Morpheus.
that I would have to make a choice.
What choice?
He makes his choice. Turning, he walks to his chair.
What are you doing?
I'm going in.
You can't.
I have to.
Morpheus sacrificed himself so we could get you out. There's no way you're going back in.
Morpheus did what he did because he believed that I'm something I'm not.
What?
I'm not the one, Trinity. The Oracle hit me with that, too.
Trinity is stoned.
No, you have to be.
I'm sorry, I'm not. I'm just another guy. Morpheus is the one that matters.
No, Neo, that's not true. It can't be true.
Why?
Because
Uncertainty swallows her words, and she's unable to tell him what she wants to.
Neo, this is Loco. They got Morpheus in a military-controlled building. Even if you somehow got inside, those agents are holding him. Those are agents holding him. 3 of them. I want Morpheus back too, but what you were talking about is suicide.
I know that's what it looks like, but it's not. I can't logically explain to you why it's not, but Morpheus believes something, and he was ready to give his life for what he believed. I understand that now. That's why I have to go.
Why?
Because I believe in something.
what?
I believe I can bring him back.
Trinity stares at him, hovering on the edge that he just jumped off. Her jaw sets, and she starts climbing into the chair beside him.
What are you doing?
I'm with you.
No, you're not.
No? Let me tell you what I believe. I believe Morpheus means more to me than he does to you. I believe that if you are serious about saving him, you're going to need my help. And since I'm the ranking officer of this ship, if you don't like it, then I believe you can go to hell because you are not going anywhere else.
There is nothing more to say, except...
Tank, load us up.
In an executive office, Agent Smith sits casually across from Morpheus, who is hunched over, his body leaking and twitching. Ew.
I'd like to share a revelation that I've had during my time here. It came to me when I tried to classify your species. I've realized that you're not actually mammals.
The life signs continue their chaotic patterns.
You see, every mammal on this planet instinctively develops a natural equilibrium with the surrounding environment. But you humans did not. You move to an area and you multiply and multiply until every natural resource is consumed. And the only way you can survive is to spread to another area.
He leans forward.
There is another organism on this planet that follows the same pattern. Do you know what it is?
He smiles.
A virus.
Sorry.
Human beings are a disease, a cancer of this planet. You are a plague, and we are the cure.
In the
Damn,
construct.
Luke.
I know, right? Neo and Trinity stand in the white space of the construct as he answers his ringing cell phone.
Okay, what do you need besides a miracle?
Guns. Lots of guns.
On the main deck, Neo and Trinity's bodies hang motionless in their drive chairs as tank hits load. In the construct, racks of weapons appear as they begin to arm themselves.
No one has ever done anything like this.
Yeah?
He snapcocks an Uzi.
That's why it's going to work.
In the executive office, Agent Smith is again at the window.
Why isn't the serum working?
That's you, Drew.
I know I had to unmute myself. Perhaps
Try
we're
your meeting again.
asking the wrong questions.
Agent Smith hides his nodding fist. He is becoming angry. It is something that isn't supposed to happen to agents.
Leave me with him.
Agents Brown and Jones look at each other.
Now!
They leave Agent Smith. And Agent Smith sits beside Morpheus.
You hear me, Morpheus? I'm going to be honest with you.
He removes his earphone, letting it dangle over his shoulder.
I hate this place, this zoo, this prison, this reality, whatever you want to call it. I can't stand it any longer. It's the smell. If there is such a thing, I feel saturated by it. I can taste your stink, and every time I do, I fear that I've somehow been infected by it.
He wipes sweat from Morpheus's forehead, coating the tips of his fingers, holding them to Morpheus's nose because he's a gross fuck.
Repulsive, isn't it?
He lifts Morpheus's head, holding it tightly with both hands.
I must get out of here. I must get free. And this mind is the key. My key.
Morpheus sneers through his pain.
Once Zion is destroyed, there is no need for me to be here. Do you understand? I need the codes. I have to get inside Zion. You have to tell me how.
He begins squeezing, his fingers gouging into his flesh.
You are going to tell me, or you are going to die.
On the main deck, Tank sits down beside Morpheus, whose face is ashen like someone near death. He takes hold of his hand.
Hold on, Morpheus. They're coming for you. They're coming.
All right, buckle the fuck up here. Okay. In a government building, a dark wind blows. Inside that building, in long black coats, Trinity and Neo push through the revolving doors. Hold on, I got a burp. You stole it.
That was a surround sound burp.
Sorry.
Damn it.
All right, movie over. Everyone go home.
All right. Okay, anyway, Neo is carrying a duffel bag. Trinity has a large metal suitcase. They cut across the lobby to the security station, drawing nervous glances. Dark glasses, game faces. Neo calmly passes through the metal detector, which begins to wail immediately. A security guard moves over towards Neo, raising the metal detector wand.
Would you please remove any metallic items you are carrying? Keys, loose change.
Neo slowly sets down his duffel bag and throws open the coat, revealing an arsenal of guns and knives and grenades, slung from a climbing harness.
Holy shit.
Neo is a blur of motion. In a split second, 3 guards are dead before they hit the ground. A 4th guard dives for cover, clutching his radio.
Backup! Send in the backup!
He looks up at Trinity as Trinity sets off the metal detector. It is the last thing he sees. The backup arrives, a wave of soldiers blocking the elevators. The concrete cavern of the lobby becomes a white noise, a roar of gunfire, apparently. Slate walls and pillars pop, crack, and crater under a hailstorm of explosive-tipped bullets. They are met by a quivering spit of sub-hand machine gun and a razored whistle of throwing knives. Weapons, like extensions off their bodies, are used with the same deadly precision as their feet and their fists. Bodies slump down toward the marble floor while Neo and Trinity hardly even break their stride. In the executive office, Agent Jones and Brown burst into the room. Agent Smith releases Morpheus.
What were you doing?
Agent Smith recovers, replacing his earpiece.
You don't know.
No, what?
Agent Smith listens to his earphone, not believing what he's hearing. In the elevators, they get in. Trinity immediately drops and opens the suitcase. Wiring a plastic and napalm bomb, Neo hits the emergency stop. He pulls down the part of the false ceiling and finds the elevator shaft access panel. Agent Jones looks at Morpheus.
I think they're trying to save him.
Neo ratchets down a clamp onto the elevator cable. Both of them lock on. He looks up at the long, dark throat of the building and takes a deep breath.
There is no spoon.
Neo whips out his gun and presses it to the cable, lower than they attach themselves. Boom! The cable snaps. The counterweight plummets, yanking Trinity and Neo up through the shaft as the elevator falls away beneath them, distending space, filling it with the sound of whistling metal as they sear to the top. In the lobby, the elevator hits the bottom. Ba-boom! massive explosion blows open the doors, fire clouds engulfing the elevator section of the lobby. In the executive office, the agents hear the blast of fire alarms.
Lower level.
They're actually attacking.
Another enormous explosion thunders above them, shaking the building. The alarm sounds. Emergency sprinklers begin showering the room. Agent Smith smashes a table.
Find them and destroy them, then find me a new table.
Agent Jones nods and touches his earpiece. On the roof access tower is now engulfed in flames as Neo and Trinity stand amongst the pile of their fallen enemies. Across the roof, the pilot inside the Army helicopter watches the last of their ferocious onslaught.
This is my last line for the night. I repeat, we are under attack.
Suddenly, his face, his whole body dissolves, consumed by a spreading locust swarm like of static as Agent Jones emerges. Just as she drops the final Marine, Trinity sees what's coming. Neo sees her, the fear in her face, and he knows what is behind him. Screaming, he whirls, guns filling his hands with thought speed, finger pumping, shell ejecting, dancing up and away. We look through the sights and gun smoke at the agent, blurred with motion, until the hammers click against the empty metal.
Trinity.
Agent Jones charges.
Help?
His gun booms as we shut up. Sorry, inside joke. His gun booms as we enter the liquid space of bullet time.
Cell cadaver.
Time.
The air sizzles with wads of lead like angry flies as Neo twists, bends, ducks just between them. Agent Jones, still running, narrows the gap. The bullets come faster. Coming faster until Neo bent impossibly back. One hand on the ground as a spiraling gray ball, shears open his shoulder. He starts to scream as another digs a red groove across his thigh. Hey! He has only time to look up to see Agent Jones standing over him, raising his gun a final time.
Only human.
Suddenly, Agent Jones stops. He hears the sharp metal click. Immediately, he whirls around and turns straight into the muzzle of Trinity's 45, jammed tight to his head.
Dodge this, motherfucker.
Boom, boom, boom. The body flies back with a flash of mercurial.
Of the whole motherfucking movie. The best line.
Yes.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, boom, boom, boom. The body flies back with a flash of mercurial light. And when it hits the ground, it is the pilot. Trinity helps Neo up.
Neo, how did you do that?
Do what?
You moved like they moved. I've never seen anyone move that fast.
It wasn't fast enough.
He checks his shoulder wound.
Are you all right?
I'm fine. Come on, we have to keep moving.
Neo sees the helicopter.
Can you fly that thing?
Not yet.
She pulls out the cellular phone. It's weird when they say cellular phone. Tank is back at the controls.
Operator.
Tank, need a pilot program for a military B-212 helicopter.
Tank is immediately searching the disk drawers.
Hurry.
His fingers flash over the gleaming laser discs, finding one that feeds into Trinity's supplemental drive. Punching the load commands on her keyboard. Up on the roof, Trinity's eyes flutter as information surges into her brain. All the essentials of flying a helicopter absorbed at light speed.
Let's go.
In the executive office, Agent Jones throws open the door and enters, walking through the puddles pooling in the carpet. Over the rushing water and the alarms, Agent Smith hears the sound and understands the seriousness of the attack. He turns to the wall of windows as the helicopter drops into view. Neo is at the back bay aiming the mounted 50 machine gun.
Oh.
The gun jumps and bullets explode through the window in a cacophony of crashing glass as the agents go for their weapons. But Neo is too close, the 50 caliber too fast, and the bullets are everywhere, perforating the room. Agent Jones is hit first, his body jackknifing back, blood arcing out of the sudden flash of light. Then Agent Brown, his gun still firing as his body falls. And finally, Agent Smith. Neo stares at Morpheus, trying to will him into action.
Get up, Morpheus, get up.
Neo grabs the climbing rope and attaches one end to his harness. In the hallway, just outside the executive office, 3 Marines blister with snow static. In the office, slowly, Morpheus lifts his face to the room's rain. When he finally opens his eyes, they are again dark and flashing with fire. He rises from the chair, snapping his handcuffs just as the agents enter the adjoining room. Agent Smith stops and sees Morpheus run past the open door.
No!
He fires, sweeping across the sheetrock wall in a perfect line. For an instant, we see the bullet shred puncturing the wall, searing through the wet air with jet trails of chalk. As Morpheus starts to dive for the window, a bullet buries itself into his leg, knocking him off balance.
You won't make it.
Morpheus lunges out of control as Neo spins every move of a whip crack, snapping the other end of the rope onto a bolted bar as Morpheus begins to fall. When Neo hurls himself onto the wide, empty blue space, flying for a moment, the rope snaking out behind him, an umbilical cord attached to a machine, as their 2 bodies set in motion, rushing at each other on a seemingly magnetic course until they collide, almost bouncing free of each other, arms, legs scrambling, hands searching in furious desperation, finding hold and clinging until the line ends, snapping taut, cracking their fragile embrace. Morpheus tumbles, legs flipping over, falling down, the ground deliriously distant as Neo snatches hold of his mentor's still handcuffed wrist.
Gotcha.
In the government building, Trinity pulls the copter away, and as Agent Smith stands in the shattered window, aiming his gun out through the curtain of rain. Punk, punk, punk. The rear hull is punched full of holes, and smoke and oil pour out like black blood.
Shit, no!
Neo hears the helicopter begin to die.
Uh-oh.
Trinity throws the helicopter towards the roof of the nearest building. Morpheus and Neo cling to each other as they and the machine above them begin to fall. The engine grinds. The chopping blades start to slow while Trinity guides the parabolic fall over the nearest roof, where Neo and Morpheus drop safely, rolling free as the rope goes slack. Neo gets to his feet, trying to detach himself, but the helicopter is falling too fast, arching over the roof like a setting sun. The coils of slack snap taut, yanking Neo off his feet, dragging him with ferocious speed toward the edge, even as Trinity lunges for the back door, her gun in one hand, grabbing for the rope with the other. Neo flies like a skipping stone, hurtling at the parapet when his feet hit the rain gutter, and he levers up just as Trinity fires, severing the cord from the helicopter, falling free of it as it smashes, blades first, into a glass skyscraper. Holding on to the rope, she swings, connected to Neo, who stands on the building's edge, watching her arc beneath him as the helicopter explodes. She bounces against a shatterproof window that spider cracks out while flames erupt behind her. On the main deck, Tank stares at the screen, mouth agape.
Knew it. It's the one.
On the rooftop, Neo pulls Trinity up into his arms. Both shaking, they hold each other again.
Do you believe it now, Trinity?
Trinity looks at Neo.
Morpheus, the Oracle. She told me.
She told you exactly what you needed to hear. That's all. Sooner or later, Neo, you're going to realize, just like I did, the difference between knowing a path and walking a path.
The phone rings.
Tank.
God damn, it's good to hear your voice again.
We need an exit.
Got one ready. Subway, State and Balbo.
We're on our way.
On the rooftop, we rush at the roof access door as it suddenly slams open, and the 3 agents charge out, but Neo, Trinity, and Morpheus, god damn it, are already gone. I'm sorry.
Hashtag Morpheus.
No, I think she said Morphus this time.
Yeah, this time I got it all.
Morpheus has had a few names.
I'm sorry.
Morpheus hasn't figured out what they want their name to be yet. They're trying out some different things.
Right.
We
It's a
all
trans
do it.
allegory.
Like Heidi in
It
closet.
is. It's
Yeah,
an
there you
accidental
go.
trans allegory.
Damn.
Anyways, damn it.
The trace was completed.
We have their position.
Sentinels are standing by.
Order the strike.
Agent Smith can't stand listening to him. He moves to the edge of the building, looking out at the surrounding city.
They're not out yet.
In the subway station, an old man sits hutched in the far corner of the station, shadows gathered around him like blankets. Mumbling, he nurses from a bottle of Thunderbird when a phone begins to ring. Neo leads Trinity and Morpheus bounding over a set of turnstiles towards the ringing phone inside a graffiti-covered booth.
Let's go. You first, Morpheus.
Morpheus gets in and answers the phone. Lost in the shadow, the old man watches as Morpheus disappears, the phone dropping, dangling by its cord. His eyes grow wide, glowing white in the dark. On the rooftop, Agent Smith stares, his face twisted with hate. He will never be free of the Matrix. He starts to turn from the edge of the building when he suddenly hears it, his head whipping back around, staring. In the subway, from the old man's point of view. Through the old man's eyes, as the world begins to rumble, Trinity hangs up the phone, then turns to Neo.
Neo, I have to tell you something. I don't know what it means or even if it matters, but I feel I have to say it.
The rumble grows, the ground beginning to shake.
I never told anyone this before. I think I've been afraid to.
Behind her, the phone begins to ring.
When I went to the Oracle, she told me I was going to fall in love. But
The rumble rises, drowning her voice. Neo is drawn towards her, their lips close enough to kiss, when a train blasts into the station. For a moment, they are frozen by the strobing lights of the train until Neo whispers in her ear.
Promise me you'll tell me the rest?
She nods as he closes the booth. The phone rings once more before she lifts the receiver when, in the darkness of the far corner, Neo sees the old man in the flashing train light as he becomes Agent Smith, raising a fistful of black gunmetal.
No!
The gun fires, the bullet flying at her, bursting through the plastic window just as Trinity disappears. The handset hanging in the air as the bullet hits, shattering the earpiece. In the hovercraft, Trinity blinks, shivering as her consciousness exits the construct.
Neo!
The hell just happened?
Agent, you have to send me back.
I can't.
In the subway station, the destroyed phone dangles in the empty booth. Neo turns to Agent Smith, whose gun stares at him like a third eye.
Mr. Anderson.
Morpheus and Trinity stand behind Tank, riveted to the scrolling code.
Run, Neo, run!
Run, Forrest, run. At the subway, Neo looks at the dead escalator that rises up behind him. Slowly, he turns back, and in his eyes, we see something different, something fixed and hard like a gunfighter's resolve. There is no past or future in these eyes. There is only what is. On the main deck, Trinity is unable to understand.
What is he doing?
Unmute.
He's beginning to believe.
In the subway station, Neo whip draws his gun with the flashpoint speed of lightning as Smith opens fire. Gun report, I guess a rapport? I don't know. Report. It is report? Okay. Thunders to the underground, both men blasting, moving at impossible speed. For a blinking moment, we enter bullet time. Gun flash, tongues curl from Neo's gun. Bullets float forward like a plane moving across the sky. Cartridges cartwheel into space. An instant later, they are nearly on top of each other, hey, rolling up on the move that is almost a mirrored reflection of the other, each jamming their gun tight to the other's head. They freeze in a kind of embrace, Neo sweating, panting, Agent Smith machine calm. Agent Smith smiles.
You're empty.
That was so sexual.
That's
Neo
what I
pulls
do.
the trigger click.
So are you.
Eh.
My next time. Hey, that's gonna be the line.
The smile falls. Agent Smith yanks his trigger. Click. Agent Smith's face warps with rage and he attacks. Fists flying at furious speed. Blows and counters. Neo retreating as a knife hand opens his forearm and a kick sends him slamming back against the steel column. Stunned, he ducks just under a punch that crunches into the beam, steel chunks exploding like shrapnel. Behind him, Neo leaps into the air, delivering a neck-snapping reverse roundhouse, hey. Agent Smith's glasses fly off and he glares at Neo, his eyes ice blue.
I'm going to enjoy watching you die, Mr. Anderson.
Agent Smith attacks with unrelenting fury, fist pounding Neo like jackhammers. On the upper grab, Trinity watches Neo as his body jerks, mouth coughing blood, his life signs going wild.
Jesus, he's killing him.
In the subway station, Agent Smith grabs hold of him, lifting him into the air, hurling him against the curved wall of the train tunnel, where he falls inches from the electrified third rail. The agent is about to jump down and press his attack when he hears something from deep inside the tunnel, like an animal cry, a burst of high-speed metal grinding against metal, the sound of an oncoming train. Neo tries to get up. Agent Smith jumps down on the tracks and drop kicks him in the face. The world again begins to shake, rumbling as a train nears.
Do you hear that, Mr. Anderson?
Agent Smith grabs Neo in a chokehold, forcing him to look down at the tracks, the train's headlight burning a hole in the darkness.
That is the sound of inevitability.
Neo sees it coming, and he starts to fight.
It is the sound of your death.
There is another metal screech, much louder, closer. As Agent Smith tightens his hold, Neo's unable to breathe.
Goodbye, Mr. Anderson.
The train roars at them, swallowing Agent Smith's words. The veins bulge in Neo's head as he grits through the pain. He is not ready to die.
My name is Neo.
Impossibly, he hurls himself straight up, smashing Smith against the concrete ceiling of the tunnel. They fall as the sound of the fury of the train explodes into the station. Neo backflips up off the tracks just as the train barrels over Agent Smith. Neo stands, knees shaking, when the train slams onto the emergency brake. With an ear-splitting shriek of tortured rails, the train slows, part of it still in the station. Neo turns, limping, starting to run, racing for the escalator. As the train comes to a stop and the doors of the last car open, Agent Smith bursts out in the furious pursuit, his glasses again intact.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Tank searches the Matrix.
Just happened?
I don't know. I lost him.
He's on the run.
Suddenly, a siren sounds.
Oh, shit.
Morpheus bolts to the ladder. In the cockpit, Morpheus climbs into the cockpit. On a hologram radar, he sees the Sentinels.
Oh no.
Trinity is behind him.
How long?
5 minutes, maybe 6.
Morpheus lifts the headset.
Tank, charge the EMP.
Yes, sir.
You can't use that until Neo is out.
I know, Trinity. Don't worry. He's going to make it.
A businesswoman walks along the sidewalk, wheeling and dealing into her cell phone when it disappears, snatched by Neo as he flashes by.
What the shit? My phone, asshole!
The woman turns to call for help, and when she turns back, it's Agent Smith. Neo is in full-out sprint, spinning and weaving away from every pedestrian, every potential agent. He flips open the cell phone and dials long distance. On the hovercraft, Tank answers.
Operator.
Mr. Wizard, get me the hell out of here.
Out on the street, Neo dives down an alley. Agent Smith starting to gain.
Hurry, Tank, I got some serious pursuit.
In the hovercraft, the keyboard is clicking. Tank searches for an exit. Trinity screams into the headset.
Neo, you better get your ass back here.
In the alley, Agent Smith stops and takes aim.
I'm trying, Trinity. I'm really trying.
A bullet shatters the image of Neo in a truck's rearview mirror. On the main deck, Tank speed reads the reams of the Matrix code.
I got a patch on an old exit. Wabash and Lake, a hotel. Room 303.
On an open market, Neo spins away, turning, and finds himself in an open market that teems with people. He kamikazes his way down the little avenues lined with vendors and shops, careening through the labyrinth of out of control. And at every turn, there's an agent appearing from crowds, behind fish counters, tent flaps, and crates. In the alley, he dives down from the maze, down a service alley, but is at a dead end. Neo turns back as the agents emerge from the market.
Help? Need a little help?
On the main deck, Tank frantically scans the monitor like a road map.
The door.
Neo dives for it, but
it's locked.
Kick it in.
Peeling back, Neo almost kicks the door from its hinges, lunging from the agent's bullets. In the apartment building, Neo springs up from the old crooked apartment building stairs. He is halfway down the halls, running in sharp, long strides when the door explodes open at the end.
Shit! Door on your left.
Neo lurches, kicking in an apartment door.
No, the other left.
He whirls back to his other left, battering through the door, which splinters, perforated by bullets. An old woman watches TV as Neo blurs past her and into her kitchen, where another woman is chopping vegetables.
Lesbians. That window.
Neo throws it open, leaping for the fire escape just as the knife buries itself in the window casing.
Down.
Tumbling down the rattling fire escape, Neo leaps the last 10 feet into the alley below, with Agent Brown right behind him. Neo scrapes himself to his feet, broken and bleeding, charging for the end of the alley. Finger on the monitor, Tank traces Neo's path.
That's it. You're almost there. That fire escape at the end of the alley.
In the heart of the city hotel, Agent Smith suddenly pauses as if recognizing something. The faded neon buzzes heart of the city hotel. In the hovercraft, Tank loads the exit.
I'm gonna make the call.
Do it.
Suddenly, the lights go red.
No.
Morpheus looks up.
Here they come.
The sentinels are open and shift their killer kaleidoscope, Jesus, as they attack, slamming down the Nebuchadnezzar. Yeah. In the hovercraft booms down as they hit. Morpheus opens the lock on the EMT detonator. Trinity watches him.
He's going to make it.
Neo scrambles up the fire escape, bullets sparking and ricocheting around him as Agent Brown and Agent Jones close the gap. In the hall on the third floor, he kicks in the window, jumping into the hall. The doors count backwards, 310, 309. On the main deck, another system sound alarms.
Burn through the outer hall.
Hurry, Neo.
Neo can hear the phone ringing. 305, 304. Agent Brown reaches the broken window behind him just as Neo grabs the handle of 303, throwing open the door to find Agent Smith waiting, 45 cocked. Neo can't move, can't think. Boom! Out on the main deck, Neo's body jerks and everyone hears it as the life monitors snap flatline. Trinity screams. Morpheus stumbles back in disbelief.
No,
No, it can't be. It can't.
Lasers suddenly sear through the main deck as the Sentinels slice open the hole. In the hall, 3 holes are in his chest. Neo falls to the blue shag carpeting, blood smearing down the wallpaper. Agent Smith stands over him, still aiming, taking no chances.
Check him.
Amid the destruction raining around her, Trinity takes hold of Neo's body.
Neo,
Kneeling beside him, Agent Brown checks his vitals.
He's gone.
Agent Smith smiles, standing over him.
Goodbye, Mr. Anderson.
On the main deck, in tears, Morpheus takes hold of the EMP switch. Trinity whispers in Neo's ear.
Neo, please listen to me. I promise to tell you the rest. The Oracle, she told me that I'd fall in love, and that man I love would be the one. You see,
I'm sorry.
You can't be dead, Neo. You can't be, because I love you. You hear me? I love you.
Sorry.
For those of you who aren't paying attention and aren't in our group chat, somebody just made a
Sean, this is your
great
fault.
comment that Morpheus is now being named Muteus. And we're all losing our so sorry about that. It's a very touching moment, we swear. Well, how come is it every time there's a serious moment, like Trinity's like, I love you, and Morpheus is about to die, we're all like, oh, this is some funny ass shit.
Oh, shit.
Put that
And
shit.
what's worse?
Put that shit on a shirt. Sell it. We got merch.
Yes.
Muteus.
Make this shit happen.
I was gonna point out as
Listen to all of
well.
the names.
All the names, yes.
I just want to point out also before
Check
we get
it.
back to this. I want to point out before we get back to the seriousness. While Mona was explaining what the hell is happening with the serious scene again, I could hear it echoing on Ginger's as well. So that was making me laugh twice as hard.
Sorry.
Sorry.
We need to be on different floors next time. I'm just saying. Anyway.
Where were we?
Should I redo my scene? Should I?
Yes, please.
I feel like
Give you another shot at it.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah, like-
Profess your love. It wasn't good enough the
Roll
first
any-
time.
Neo, please listen to me. I promise to tell you the rest. The Oracle, she told me that I'd fall in love, and that man, the man I loved, would be the one. You see, you can't be dead, Neo. You can't be, because I love you. You hear me? I love you.
Her eyes close and she kisses him, believing in all her heart that he will feel her lips and know that they speak the truth. In the hall, he does, and they do. His eyes snap open. On the main deck, Trinity screams as the monitors jump back to life. Tank and Morpheus look at each other. It's a freaking miracle.
Now get the fuck up.
In the hallway, holding his chest, Neil struggles to get up. Did I just call him Neil?
Wow.
It's actually really hard to say.
I didn't get
no
any
without
fucking
sounding
sleep
like
last night.
Neil.
I'm sorry, everybody.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
We've lost, I have officially lost control of this screen.
I'm so sorry.
I
Okay.
think the beauty of this, though, is that really every single time that you do a script read, like the first time, it's always this kind of shit. So, like, we get to video how much fun it is to go through the script and mess it up as you're reading it for the first
Right.
or second time.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
great.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So Neo is struggling to get up. At the end of the hall, the agents wait for the elevator. When Agent Smith glances back, he rips off his sunglasses, a la the guy from what's that show? That joke is gone. Anyway.
CSI Miami.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Anyway.
Neo for the win. Good job, buddy.
Thank you. Thanks for the same. He rips off his sunglasses, looking at Neo as if he were looking at a ghost. Neo gets to his feet. All 3 agents grabbing for their guns. What?
Did you say goat?
I don't know.
Ghost.
It don't matter no more.
She's a goat now.
Our
My
goddamn
brain works
back.
out.
At this point, roll the credits. At this
I
point.
know. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry. Neo gets to his feet. The agents grabbing for the
Come on.
As one, they fire.
No.
God damn, I got another paragraph
You
here.
got
Okay.
it.
All right. Neo raises his hands and the bullets, like a cloud of obedient bees, slow and come to a stop. They hang frozen in space, fixed like stainless steel stars. The agents are unable to absorb what they are seeing. Neo plucks one of the bullets from the air. We see him in the hall reflected in the bright casing. We move closer until the bullet fills our vision and the distorted reflection morphs, becoming the real image. He drops the bullet and the others fall to the floor. Neo looks out, now able to see through the curtain of the matrix. For a moment, the walls, the floor, even the agents become a rushing stream of code. All three transfixed with awe as the scrolling code accelerates faster and faster, as if the machine language was unable to keep up or perhaps describe what is actually happening. They begin to blur into streaks, shimmering ribbons of light that open like windows, as each screen fills with brilliant saturated color images of Neo standing in the hall.
Ow.
He is the one. He is the one.
An explosion shakes the entire ship. In the hall, Agent Smith screams, his calm machine-like expression shredding with pure rage. He rushes Neo. His attack is ferocious, but Neo blocks each blow easily. Then, with one quick strike to the chest, he sends Agent Smith flying backwards. For the first time since their inception, the agents know fear. Agent Smith gets up, bracing himself as Neo charges him and springs into a dive. But the impact doesn't come. Neo sinks into Agent Smith, disappearing his tie and coat, rippling as if he were a deep pool of water. Spinning around, he looks to the others and feels something, like a tremor before a quake, something deep, something that is going to change everything. Suddenly, a searing sound stabs through his earpiece as his chest begins to swell, then balloon as Neo bursts up out of him. And with a final death scream, Agent Smith explodes like an empty husk in a brilliant cacophony of light, his shards spinning away, absorbed by the matrix, until only Neo is left. Neo faces the remaining agents. They look at each other, the same ideas striking simultaneously. They run. Sentinels are everywhere, destroying the ship.
Neo!
In the hall, again he hears her. He reacts to the ringing phone, rushing towards it even as, on the main deck, a sentinel descends towards Morpheus. On the screen, we see Neo dive for the phone as...
Now!
Morpheus turns the key. In the overflow pit, a blinding shock of white light floods the chamber. Sentinels blink and fall, instantly dead, filling the pit with their cold metal carcasses. In the hovercraft, in the still darkness, only the humans are alive.
Neo?
His eyes open. Tears pour from her smiling eyes as he reaches up to touch her, and she kisses him. It seems like it might last forever, just like the script read. Fade to black. Faded, right? We close in on a computer screen. As in the opening, the cursor beating steadily, waiting. A phone begins to ring. It is answered, and the screen fills instantly with the trace program. After a long beat, we recognize Neo's voice.
Hi, it's me. I know you're out there. I can feel you now.
We close in on the racing columns of numbers shimmering across the screen.
I imagine you can also feel me.
The numbers begin to lock into place.
You don't have to search for me anymore. I'm done running, done hiding. Whether I'm done fighting, I suppose, is up to you.
We glide in towards the screen.
I believe deep down we both want this world to change. I believe that the Matrix can remain our cage, or it can become our chrysalis. That's what you helped me to understand. That to be free, you cannot change your cage. You have to change yourself.
We dive through the numbers, surging up through the darkness, sucked towards a tight constellation of stars.
When I used to look out at this world, all I could see was its edges, its boundaries, its rules and controls, its leaders and laws. But now I see another world, a different world where all things are possible, a world of hope, of peace.
We realize that the constellation is actually the holes in the mouthpiece of a phone, seen from inside.
I can't tell you how to get there, but I know if you can free your mind, you'll find the way.
We shoot through the holes as Neo hangs up the phone. He steps out of the phone and slides on a pair of sunglasses. He looks up and we rise higher and higher until the city is miles below. After a moment, Neo blasts by us, his long black coat billowing like a black leather cape as he flies faster than a speeding bullet. Fade out. The end.
Yay!
Neil.
Woo!
They did it.
Come on, Neil.
Oh my god.
Everybody take a breath before I start saying anything else. Everybody take a breath.
Woo.
I'm tired of talking.
Oh my
I'm
god.
tired of you talking.
Okay, so
Oh my god.
I want to thank everybody here tonight for donating their time and talent and contributions, and in Ginger's cases, dyslexia.
Sorry.
to this script reading fundraiser. Current count is $190 that we've raised so far tonight for the Transgender Law Center. I'm gonna do bows, and anyone who wants to stay and talk symbolism is more than welcome to. Otherwise, you're free to go. Let's start with our narrator, who had probably one of the most verbose, like SAT, ACT law school scripts ever, and that's
I earned this pizza.
Right, yo. She had a lot
You
going.
earned that pizza and then some. So, give it up for Ginger.
Thank you. Sorry.
I got to kill her, and I hate that I killed her. Give it up for Switch and businesswoman and guard and cop and what I know however many other roles. My fiance Brianna Cardoza.
Bye.
Ooh.
Yes. I'm trying to think of who else. We got.
Okay.
Oh shit. Okay. So we got Dozer, we've got Agent Brown or Jones. They can't remember the name. That's not Smith. We have Elizabeth Ruckard. Yay!
She was
Well
Smith. I
done.
was
It's
Brown.
our first time.
Yes. Yeah.
She was Jones.
And
I'm Jones,
Elizabeth-
yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
Jones. Yeah.
Elizabeth, I promise next time it'll probably be 10 times more worse if you do another one with us.
I'm excited. I'm ready.
Yeah. We have APOC and the Oracle, and apparently she's sick of dying and she's sick of being called old. We have Mona James.
It's a typecast. Thank you,
That's
everybody.
because you old.
I was about to-
Because I'm
We have-
basically an old lady. It's fine.
We have Tank, who I have to give a shout out to because prior to this, y'all didn't see we had major audio issues trying to get them on.
My laptop hates me, but
Daniel-
we got that figured out.
Yes, Daniel Cook, everybody give her a nice round of applause. We've got, I don't even know what your name is now, Morpheus.
Well,
Mutepheus.
we gonna stop on mute.
Mutepheus is probably them. We got Samantha
Yeah,
Madison.
Mutepheus for
Ian.
sure.
Yay!
Yeah.
I promise I am much more professional than this, and I don't know what was wrong with me today, but it's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. We all suck.
We've got.
But I'm not old. Hey, but I'm not old.
We've got Trinity, played by Sean Watson, who is responsible for the Mutepheus fiasco. I just want to point that out.
Did not intentionally align me
Bullshit.
clicking send on Mutepheus, like right at the most
Bullshit.
heartfelt
It's
monologue
fine.
I
It
had.
was your own scene.
I ruined my own scene.
You fucked
I'm
yourself
sorry to all of you.
Yeah.
Because baby
And then-
Jesus don't like that.
And in the role of young Neil, we have
Neil.
Dapper Daniel. I'm the one that's trying to hold the strings of this together, Cypher. Okay, anyone who wants to get off
Oh my
chat, I should say.
God.
Get off this chat.
Sorry. Unbeknownst to all of you, I gave Ginger jalapeno popper like wrapped pizza things, and she ate one without knowing what it was.
Oh, God. I'm literally dying right now.
Okay, if you want to stay on top
Y'all
philosophy and
terrible.
symbolism, y'all more than welcome to. Otherwise, you're free to go.
I'm gonna mute.
Elizabeth, what did you like? What all did you want me to like?
Wait,
like
pause.
This
Wait.
can be a one-on-one thing next week. It doesn't have to happen right now. I like Ginger was saying, I think it was Ginger who said it, was that as cis people, we're gonna just miss stuff that I know the trans community could point out. And I would love to know anything. I mean,
Of
I
course.
can read also articles and stuff. I don't want to
There
waste
is-
your time.
No, you're good. There is one on our Not Ready for Quarantine Players Facebook page that we shared about this being a trans allegory. It's
Okay.
I think, honest to God, I think that'll answer all of your questions.
That sounds great. I love learning from you, Sarah. You know that. So
So
I mean, I am the
me-
scary trans person the media warned us about.
There
So,
you are.
terrifying.
yes.
I think
Spooky
for
dooky.
me, there's a few things that stand out for me, and at least in the way that I've seen the movie and the script, a lot of them revolve around Trinity,
Yes.
as the one, or at least the ones that I catch. So many of them revolve around Trinity. I mean, like so early in the beginning where she's talking to Neo, and he said, like, I thought you were a man, and her response is, most men do. Like that is a perfect trans allegory in that, like, okay, yeah, men are going to see me as a man because I'm manly looking. I'm not the feminine, but that's not a thing. That doesn't matter. Also, they talk about in the script, you get to see that the narrator describes people as androgyne, which is really great. And when you watch the movie, a lot of people miss it thinking like, oh, they're just trying to make people look futuristic. But if you look at the majority of the background characters, they're incredibly androgynous. It's very hard to tell, is this a girl? Is this a guy? And they do it on purpose. But with any kind of futuristic thing, a lot of times you don't think about that kind of thing. You're just like, oh, like it's futuristic costume and hair and whatnot. But it's completely purposeful.
Something else I'll say that apparently the studio nixed, which would not surprise me. The Wachowskis had in the script that switch in, I want to say the real world was a woman, and then in the Matrix the image would have been a man. And I think WB said nope to that.
Wow.
So there is a draft out there where that's.
Yeah.
Does Trinity's name mean anything?
A lot of people,
not
I
sure.
think, wanted it to be a Christian reference, I thought.
Yeah, 3 in 1. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's very much
3
a
in 1,
Christ
God.
thing.
Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Yeah.
Right. I mean, and that's what I was, that's what I was saying earlier. I mean, that's one of the more, especially during that time, like the turn of the century, like we had these movies that were really allegorical with Christianity and good versus evil and things like that. I mean, there was The Matrix, and then a while after that, there, of course, Harry Potter, and then which is under the same studio, Warner Brothers, and then of course we had, Disney with like The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Like, so it just kind of had all these things kind of come out within a span of maybe 5 to 10 years, where that was a huge theme. And even Lord of the Rings, even, where it was just a series of movies that were coming out where it was always that good versus evil and nothing really much deeper than that. I mean, when I first saw it, I immediately thought Trinity was like the,
Right. Yeah.
Father, Son, Spirit.
So who's Neo then? Is Neo a trans a person realizing they are trans, or?
Yep.
And Cadaver,
Yep.
sorry, what were you
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
say, Cadaver? I cut you off.
Oh my gosh, no problem. No, I was just gonna say, a really interesting theme in the imagery they use that you can kind of look at on a different level when you're watching the movie if you want to get some of